Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Slip Encounter Podcast. We're at the Kenichi Bed Studios. I'm your host, BINK. This is my dog, GOLDENBOY. What's up with you, baby?
Not much, man.
You been good?
Oh, before I forget, before I do it off the rip, shout out to Miss Jen, who always helping my schedule so I could be here so we could do this stuff. She's like, oh, what you gotta do? When you gotta train, when you gotta do your media stuff, whatever. I appreciate her, Miss Ola, Miss Boomer, Miss Boomy, Miss Irene. I appreciate y'all. Oh, Miss Ebony, Miss J Nail, Miss T. They be like, what time you gotta go? Look, just do this much and we'll get you out of here so you can go.
But these are people that you just started working with?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Sickle Cell Month just ended, and I didn't get the chance to say it last episode, but, to everybody with Sickle Cell, shout out to y'all, stay strong, it's about to get cold outside. Take care of yourselves, if it's starting to get a little hard, just look at me if it helps in any way. All I do is try to stay disciplined. That's the biggest thing, just stay disciplined.
For sure.
When it comes to taking care of this body, I'm disciplined with that. Just try to make sure you stay on top of your game, and everything will be fine.
For sure,
shout out to y'all.
So for the people who may not know much about sickle cell, like what exactly is it? How does it affect your body?
All right, it's kind of the way I relate to it for people is like driving. Okay, so like how you got oxygen cells all shaped like a donut, whatever, it's soft. So they multiply, turn to 2, 4, 8, 16, whatever. But some of them don't change it. Shaped like they'll change midway and turn like very rigid, and it'll be shaped like a football banana. So all of those, if your whole blood vessels and everything's like a highway, and all the cars going straight, everything fine.
Okay.
But once an accident happens, one of them cars turns sideways, what does everything do? Stop.
I was just in there on the way here.
Everything is blocked. Everything. Oh, look at nephew. What's up, baby? And it just all blocks up, and then when that blocks up, that's what causes the pain. It starts to get worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
So that's why I always try to stay hydrated and make sure I don't, I don't party, I don't drink, I don't smoke.
Right.
Just be disciplined.
For sure. Well, shout out to Sickle Cell Month just ending. Shout out to all y'all fighting that battle. I know it's tough. I know he be going through it sometimes, and he still find a way to make it in here and do this show. Not just for me, but for y'all and for the whole team. So shout out to my man right here.
Shoot, shout out to you, Miss K, Kenichi, because y'all be looking after me. Shoot, so shout out to y'all too. Y'all part of my team, man. Like y'all be looking after me, man. I appreciate y'all just as much.
Indeed. So let's get into some boxing, man. We got a loaded
oh yeah, let's go get to the boxing because I want to talk my stuff. So let me cook.
Weekend full of boxing, man. Lord have me. Hold on, my cousin called me. Hold on. Let me go ahead and send him the voicemail. Hey, shout out to my cousin Rodney, man. I'm gonna call you right back after the show, man. I know you want to talk boxing, but we can do it after the show. But yes, we got a loaded weekend, man. We got fighting all over the place. I wanna touch on this historical women's card first, man. This historical.
Yes.
This is so huge for the sport of boxing, not just women's, but boxing, period, man. Out of that whole card, what's your favorite fight?
That's too difficult, bro. You know that's too difficult.
Yeah.
But it's no second. It's 1-1A or whatever. With Alicia going against Michaela and then Savannah and Clarissa. It is personal, yo. I keep trying to explain. Speaking of Miss Irene, like I was speaking to Miss Irene about this at work. She was like, then don't fight them. If you have a because she's so sweet, so nice. Right. She was like, then don't fight them. If they have an issue, then don't fight. I said, no, it don't work. Like I said, then Miss Jen was like, well, if it's like that, then it's, they just be doing that each fight. I said, no, it's a line that you don't cross.
Right.
Certain stuff to promote the fight for casuals who don't know what they really looking at, don't know it's just promotion. But that line is called, and these girls got history. Like back to the amateurs. Like this stuff, like man, how you got certain girls just like, I don't like that beat. This is them situations right now.
Right.
So.
And that's a good point because it's bigger than just fight promotion. Like especially with Baumgartner and Michaela, they really genuinely do not like each other. It's not. This ain't pump. This ain't fake. This ain't WWE.
No,
they really don't like each other.
I'm gonna get y'all
that fight gonna be fireworks, man.
This is what this is. I'm gonna give y'all an example. Vitamin water, send the check. So
put that under the table. They ain't paying us yet.
So this is what it is. These two, it ain't gonna be after the fight of. This is one I can't lose type of thing. It's one of those. This is one of them. So they have boxing banquets. For every time you win a belt, you're a part of that organization's history. So you could be 20 years retired and they'll invite you to a boxing banquet. You'll get a belt, you know, you got certain rings that come with your belt, like whatever, like if you win it over 2 times, 3 times, some people get their rings customized, made, whatever.
Right.
So when you do it, I can promise you, those Hall of Fame conventions, boxing banquets, 10 years down the line, these girls gonna have to stay the other side of the room. That's how serious it is. Like, yo, keep her, or I could be cool. They gonna lie to you. Or I could be cordial. Just keep her over there, and I'm good over here. As soon as I'm going, we just talked about with Sinisa and Marlene. That junk gonna be 20 years down the line. If I see that chick,
real beef too.
You know, certain fighters I done told you about that. I'm like, dog, I don't like him.
Yeah.
Like, and remember what the mom said, if Joy don't like you, something is really wrong with you.
Nah, for real.
Like, so, and that they keep their distance from me. They'll fake like I'm they friend or whatever the case may be, that I don't like. Yeah. And it's just certain things like that. It's certain stuff where it's just competition, like, that man got me that day, and then I got him another day, whatever type of thing. And it'll be conversations where it's just, you know, back and forth of what happened in this fight and this fight. Well, nephew, and you know, so we got an infant nephew here. So every time you see, you know, I'm gonna say, hey, so y'all gonna get that this episode. So he always coming there checking on us. So if you got beef with certain fighters, it's just certain fighters that you look at and you like, me and him just don't get along. Like, I know stories that I still can't tell of what happened at 11, 12 years old, 19 years old. Guys at tournaments or whatever, nah, he ain't coming in he ain't staying on the same hallway as me, like type stuff. Like, man, nah, don't. I know a fighter who was like, yeah, we're gonna have y'all room together. He said, nah, he ain't rooming with me. I'm serious. I'm gonna do this and that to him. It's that type of problem with this. It's that type of issue here with this. I mean, it's that type of bumping heads. And then the last thing that really sealed it was that last face off
after the weigh-in, yeah.
When she called Michaela Karen. That's what did it. That did it.
Yeah.
And you know how Michaela is. She's like been around nothing but black fighters and hung around black fighters or whatever. So she took that very personal.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Baumgartner did a really good job getting this out of her head. It was to
the point with just smiling at her.
Right.
Ticked her off.
Man, she did a great. But that's the thing. Like, that's why you don't argue with women, because they're so.
You said that a couple episodes ago.
They are so good at getting under your skin. They will have you ready to do some shit that'll send your ass to jail. You cannot argue with women. So when it's two of them, they walk away. When it's two of them going at each other and they witty and they smart and they quick and snappy with the comebacks, man, just watching them go at it is fantastic. It's gonna make for a great fight, man. I cannot wait to see. That's my fight of the night. My fight of the whole day is Baumgartner and Mayer, and I don't know how that fight's gonna play out now because Michaela, they got her mental tapped into.
And we were just talking off the edge.
Right. So how is she gonna react in the ring? Is she gonna come in there and be able to keep her cool, or how long is her cool gonna last? Because you know Baumgartner gonna be in there chirping. You know she's gonna be in there chirping. So how does that fight play out in your opinion? Then I go after you.
Michaela has a habit of wanting to fight on the inside sometimes.
Yeah.
And not swimming when she on the inside. Sometimes she don't swim. And sometimes when she don't swim, that could leave her head right there for certain counters, certain shots or whatever.
Right.
But I'm going to give her props. She works on the inside pretty well. But that's where that issue comes in. Because what if those certain moments she want, instead of work, okay, sequence over, step out the pocket, reset, she gets, and then tries to stay there, and it's like a second too long. Just a little bit. Like, remember I took that whole thing with the pro when I was a teenager, stayed there a little bit too long, he caught me with the body shot stepping out, like that. Like just that second, just that extra second too long. Split second, and then boom, she gets caught with something. But on the same note, if she knows how to harness it the right way, she could maybe try to pull an Aaron Pryor and try to give her a working over, give Alicia, push her to the brink. You know, try to push her to the brink. That'll be the biggest thing.
Yeah, for sure. I can see that. Piggyback off of you, I feel like if Michaela gets out of her box and she doesn't box beautifully and use her amateur skill to box against Michaela. What were we talking about? Oh, you turn the music down a little bit. The music is a little bit loud in the headphones. There we go. That's a lot better. Yeah, and I ain't got to holler. So if Michaela don't use her boxing ability and goes in there and try to fight on the inside with Baumgartner, I think it could be a disaster if she stays in those exchanges a little bit too long. We seen what she did to Terry Harper, froze her standing up.
That was
the power
scary,
is crazy.
That was scary.
Right.
Scary. And I done seen some knockouts in my day, but that was scary.
Right. And Michaela got power too, though.
Yes.
But I feel like Baumgartner got a little bit more of that thudding.
Yes.
Power.
And I think with Michaela, it's more breaking you down subtly round after round and just taking the gas, taking that instead of just thudding one, every single one shot, because nobody expected that one shot from Alicia because they see her on the mitts all the time. It's just, or even when she worked, it's like touch, switch, touch, switch, and then she may drop 2 hard shots.
Right.
So they was expecting that, like, okay, the last 2 gonna be hard type of thing, and the next thing you know, it was just that leverage, back foot, switch, everything was on point.
And that's another good point I was gonna get to is I think Michaela's punch output's a little bit more than Baumgartner. Baumgartner fights with her lead hand down a lot. And I mean, she's quick with it. She has that Roy Jones swing in her lead hand. She's quick, but with the punch output, would she be able to do that, especially on the inside?
Setting traps.
But Michaela's not, she's not as fast as Baumgartner, but with the punch output overwhelming her, do you think she'll be able to fight with that style and not get caught?
Yeah.
Not get caught?
Both of them, I think both of them are at their peaks at the same level with each other to bring the best out of each other. But at the same time, fighting somebody that's on your level also means that both are very susceptible that anybody could get hurt at any moment.
And your mental cannot waver. Like you asked me on Instagram, you was like, how do football players going in? Y'all talk all that shit. Football is different. Like I can unleash and be as wild as I want to be. I ain't got to worry about that counterpunch that might slip over top of my glove and put me on the canvas.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
Lie.
Y'all
seriously. Get blindsided. Get blindsided.
We get blindsided, yeah, but to a degree, we can play a little bit more reckless. You can't box recklessly.
True.
You can't. You can play football reckless to a degree.
Okay.
More so than boxing. So that's what I'm kind of getting at here is like, with all the chirping that's been going on between the both of them, all the dislike, all the hatred, the build up to it, whose mental's gonna stay here? But who's gonna tilt and cup overflow first? And whoever does that first may be the one to lose this fight.
I know one thing, Michaela better bring them hands back fast because and ain't no telling, you got Tony Harrison in your corner.
Oh, they're gonna be chirping, bro.
Ain't
Tony gonna
no
be chirping from the corner.
telling. when that bell ring and she on that stool, do you see it, Alicia? You see it? I think I see such and such. Yeah, do this, and then see that. But look for it. Come on, man.
Yeah. This is gonna be a great fight, man. I can't wait. Clarissa Shields, Savannah Marshall. Another one where it's pure hatred.
Oh my God.
It's not fake. This isn't build up. This isn't to sell tickets. They really don't like each other.
They won't fight each other for free. But after this, they may fight each other for free.
Right.
Like this is another one of them things where I catch her alone, it's gonna be a problem. It's that type of fight.
So hold on real quick. You taking Baumgartner or Michaela in the first one?
All right, bro.
I gotta do it too. We gotta do it on air so it'll be official. It'll be on YouTube forever. You gotta pick one. You gotta pick. We can pick at the end of the show.
I'm going with Baum.
You going with Baum?
I'm going with Baum.
I think so too.
She should be able to pull it off. She has the more, I would say in certain aspects, a little more polished. That she should be able to use Michaela, that walking on the inside, maybe her pulling and grabbing those little tricks, grabbing, pulling that hand, counter over top. She can maybe be just right there for it.
Yeah. Yesterday I said Michaela. I said I got Michaela married tomorrow. I think I got Michaela gonna pull it off. But I think today I'm going with Baumgartner, man. Something about that X factor. It's like what Terence Crawford got. That shit that Terence Crawford got that nobody can really say what it is, but it's when you see it, you see it. Yeah, I think she got a little bit more of that. And I think that's what's going to be the difference in the fight. I'm going out on a leg. I'm saying it on air. I'm taking Baumgartner tomorrow. The bomb. Now, Shields and Marshall. Let's get back on that. Break that one down.
Eesh. Still got Clarissa outworking her. But at the same time, just like we talked about, we just talked about how Alicia dropped that huge brick on Terry. not too long ago, Savannah dropped a huge brick on her latest opponent, her most recent opponent, and was out before, hit that girl with that hook. That girl was out before she hit the floor. And she's been known to break people down with shots lately. Like, she's not only hurting girls, but it's more of a thud breaking them down and then, stopping them. So you worry in between, what if, Clarissa gets caught with something, but I honestly feel like she not catching her. Right. I just got a feeling that Clarissa gonna be her jab gonna be the thing. The jab's gonna be the thing. We already know that Clarissa runs the number. She'll throw a hook right hand, back to back to back to back, like 2-3, 2-3, 2-3, 2-3, and then step out 3 jabs. Like she will run the numbers on that. But her jab, her pumping her jab, her jab is so beautiful to watch. It's this, and you know how I be saying, sometimes change the speed on the jab. No, she don't do none of that. It's the same consistent whip each time. Whip just and it's just a percussion. Boom, 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 boom. She throw 3 up, boom, boom, boom. Right. Come back, boom. Then throw 2, boom, boom, boom. Then throw 3 again, boom, boom, boom. Like throw 2, boom, boom. Like she just keeps pumping that. That's gonna be the thing. That's gonna be the thing that's gonna be able to get her where she needs to be, because even though Savannah, you would say she's taller, the range or whatever. What do I always say? The jab ain't got to land. So if Clarissa just shoots it just enough to get her attention, or just enough to know what distance it is, oh, I'm at her glove, or I'm at her forearm. Okay, I can get hit. Or all right, I can do this and do that. That's all that's needed. Right. And if she utilizes that the right way, like I'm pretty sure she's gonna do, that's gonna make her night. If I'm Savannah, I'm letting her punch. I'm letting her have some fun. Like I'm letting her, okay, come on, I gotta get her loose. I'm telling you, the first 2-3 rounds is gonna be very interesting to see. I got it being Hagler Leonard. Remember the documentary when Leonard was like, I'm watching him, he watching me. We both seen we about to do it, and I realized, oh, he just as tight as I am. He's not as loose as me. Oh, okay, you see, oh yeah, he thinks just, oh, so he's just as tight as I am. That looking at each other, man. All right, what you fighting on? What you fighting on? All right, okay, now they stepping on.
For
okay,
sure.
But that's gonna be the first 2. I'm telling you.
Until it opens up,
and then rounds 3 and 4 starts to open up. Because remember, they're not dealing with 3 minutes; they're dealing with 2.
Exactly.
That is gonna start opening up around 3, 4. That's when it's gonna start opening up.
Right. I can see that. My worry for Clarissa is getting caught in the exchanges, though. Like
that
you said,
sneaky hook.
That sneaky hook. When she lands a jab, double it. Then she starts like the 2-3. Like you said, she's throwing the 3-2, 2-3. In the exchange, when she gets comfortable with landing punches, that punch she don't see coming from Savannah. That thudding technical hook that she throw. Almost like Beterbiev. He throws that technical ass hook. Man, that's the only worry I really got is her getting caught in an exchange and getting hurt in a bad way. But beyond that, I think
especially the gap. Savannah sometimes do this. Like just like I'm glad you just mentioned it, because I wasn't thinking about that. But Savannah do this. Like her Arthur Beterbiev and the boy that Canelo just lost to, Bivol.
Yeah.
They both do this thing where Europeans do it, Russian, they really do this where, you got Cubans sometimes, I tell you the Olympic style where they go here, whatever, the Marquez right. brothers, Cota, sometimes they do it. Well, you do the same thing, but you bring your hand further out. So it's like you're giving them an extra long berry and you turn it, or you turn it like the Kostya
Right.
used to do. I never get quick story. Shout out to the great Sean Bay Mitchell. He was telling my dad, and he told Donnie Simpson on WPGC, he was like, man, I'm watching Kostya. I knew he was Olympian. I knew he was a good fighter, whatever, but he had a thing of throwing his hook off his jab. And I'm like, man, that ain't nothing. He ain't hurting me with that. He ain't catching me with that. Because the way Kostya would do is, he'll do this, and you know how I throw my hook up, and I shoot it? He'd do this. Boom. It just turned just from in here. You know how strong.
Yeah, to turn it like that.
He said, man, he threw it, and all of a sudden felt like a pole. He was like, boom. Oh my God. And then before you know it, he dropping the right hand with it. And it's just, you know, that's what you could really, really worry about.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
do you think anybody gets stopped in that fight? You don't think anybody gets stopped, Savannah? And Clarissa?
Savannah could, if let's say, because I know where we're going with this. It can Clarissa stop Savannah? I don't got it happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like I honestly don't, and it ain't for lack of trying. I got it being them two rumbling, and okay, they rumbling, and they in England.
Mm-hmm.
They at the O2. She could be drooling, stammering, staggering. If she makes it to that last bell, she went the distance.
Mm-hmm.
And coming from the Fury family, you fight to the death almost.
Mm-hmm.
If not close to it, at it.
Right.
Ain't stopping it. The ref will have to save her.
Exactly.
And I don't got the. It's just different over there when it's their hometown fighters.
Mm-hmm.
Like in America, they'll let you keep going, but they'll try to save you and stop it, or whatever, because you the hometown kid.
Mm-hmm.
At a certain point, but they'll do it like in a way of stop you grabbing and doing it, really you ain't whatever.
Yeah.
But over there, they'll do anything not to try to stop that fight.
Oh, for sure. For sure. We saw that when Jamil went over there and beat what's his name? The boy he beat took his belt before he fought you know what I'm talking about.
Kell Brook?
Not Kell Brook, Jamil Herring.
Oh, Jamil Herring.
And retired
the Jackal.
The Jackal.
Carl Frampton.
They was gonna let that fight. He was getting cooked. They let that joint ride till it was like it's too bad. So you right on that. Them over there across the pond, they will let the fight go longer than what it needs to try to give their fighter a chance to see how far he can go and maybe have a comeback fight. A comeback moment in the fight is what I meant to say.
I could tell y'all this from experience watching over there. I forget this fight's name, and I'm so mad I'm forgetting it at this moment.
Recently?
But no, this was a few years back. I think this is about 10 years ago, I want to say. I forget this guy's name. Man, over there, you know how over here when you throw the towel in, it's automatically over, right?
Mm-hmm.
Over there, you throw in the towel, the referee could throw it back.
I'm about to say, yeah.
For y'all who think we bull jiving up here, we BSing, over there, I'm getting BINK whooping my hind parts. Nishi throwing the towel. Miss Kayla, the referee, she could sit there and take the towel and throw it back at Nietzsche and say, "Nah, he taking this."
Yeah, nah, he taking this.
Yeah, because and I mean that fight was one of the fights of the decade when it happened. Wow. I forget. I gotta look it up, and I will remember because if you
a couple years ago.
No, this was when we was teenagers.
Oh, okay. There was another one a couple years ago that was.
And yeah, I know which one you're talking about. And these two were in England rumbling, and one of the boys got hurt real bad. I mean, every time he was fighting, it was Michael can't see these. I forget the opponent he was fighting, but it was Michael Katsides, the Spartan. He was fighting this local kid. Get the boy's last name. I don't want to say nothing to get it wrong, but if you type in on YouTube Michael Katsides and the towel fight or whatever you want to put in, it's gonna pop up with his name. It's one of his top fights. He's hurting this kid, and they about to stop it. His corner, the boy's fighting back, but every time he fights back, all of a sudden he gets hit with another hook, and it's a thudding her that rocks him. Man, his corner's doing this, coming up the steps, stepping back down halfway through the steps, stepping back up the step enough, and then step back, like up and down, double dutching, and they stepped up all the way up on there now. Now he's almost to the platform. And then right when he got hurt with the second hook again, he threw in the towel. But the referee, in my opinion, the referee could see this. It was like the towel, when it got thrown, it was like about right here. So if you looking at your laptop.
It was in his vision.
Yeah, it's like good on the peripheral when the way he threw it. And when he looked back and finally saw it, because it's deafening in there. Everybody's going nuts. Stop the fight. Look, the towel. That Bama looked down. Grabbed the towel, threw it back. But the thing that happened before he threw it back was the boy got clipped again, and then Katsides tried to jump on him again, and then he got hurt. The boy came back and hurt him. Hurt Michael Katsides. Hurt him bad. I mean, hurt him worse than he was hurting him.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, tide turns. And it's a whole man.
Right.
It was you really worrying about these two dudes' health. And Michael Cassie, if you know about his career, you know I say you pay a toll. You want to cross that bridge, you pay the toll in this sport. You will leave out less if you give it all you got. You'll get everything back from it, but you will leave a piece of yourself that you'll never get back, and you got to be okay with that. Cat CDs did that.
That's kind of my point with it. It's like with all these stoppages, man. It's like some of the stoppages I do agree with, but there's some stoppages where it's like he wasn't even really that hurt.
Yes.
He wasn't really that hurt.
Cause
he was throwing a lot of punches, maybe, but then you take away from those moments where a fighter that's willing to go out on the shield, like Deontay Wilder always said, we warriors, I'm going out on my shield. You know what I'm saying? So how do you rob a fighter of that moment, man?
If you
a Diego Corrales moment.
If you ever notice, a lot of fights start to get stopped early when a fighter just died.
Yeah, that is true. The fighter did just pass away recently. It was over in Cuba. Was it Cuba?
No, I think it was Mexico.
Mexico? Oh,
okay. It was Mexico. But like when fighters die, like look at when Holyfield stopped Tyson the first fight. Mm-hmm. Some people felt like Tyson probably would have clinched them and got it together. Mm-hmm. But the way they stopped it, and it was beautiful. It was a beautiful climax to the story for Holyfield.
Right.
I want to say it was the same referee. Mm-hmm. It was the same I want to say it was the same referee who got scolded for not stopping it sooner with a guy a few months prior who got killed.
Right.
So whether it's that exact referee or whether it's a different referee, all of them take that into consideration. Mm-hmm. Then you have situations where it's guys who died in that ring where the ref wanted to stop it, and then that kid comes back, and then it happens again. And it's just like the story I just told. And yeah, come back, then he gets hurt again, then he comes back again. Mm-hmm. And you're trying to give him the Corrales moment. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them fighters be in bad shape, and what's keeping them going is heart and their adrenaline. And because that's why a lot of fighters, once they get to the adrenaline, you ever hear 90% of the stories you hear, once the adrenaline goes away, by the time they make it to the dressing room, that's when they fall out. Mm-hmm. And that's when everything takes its course.
I feel
and
you.
It was one referee, I'm not gonna say his name, it was back in the 80s. Out of respect for his family, but everybody knows this fight, Ray Boom Boom Mancini, the great Ray Boom Boom Mancini with Dooku Kim. That referee, you could look it up and everything. He killed himself like months later because he kept crying and telling his referee friends that would go check on him and say, every time I thought to stop it, the kid kept coming back stronger. Mm-hmm. I didn't mean to. Like it was almost like he was blaming himself, mm-hmm. and he wound up taking his life.
Right.
Because he couldn't live with it because he felt like he didn't do his job that mm-hmm. night. That maybe if I stopped it a round sooner, mm-hmm. or, one punch sooner, because then the stuff started to come out that Dooku Kim basically, it was the last punch he took before he went down. That's what caused the brain damage. Mm-hmm. So it was like, what if I stopped it right before that shot? He would have had 6 months to recover.
Yeah.
And then fought again and, Hall of Fame, whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. So it's all these things that play a factor. I never forget, when I watched Mickey Ward and Gaddy in round 9, you hear geez. Jim Lampley. Jim Lampley still starts, welling up with tears talking about it. He was like, stop it, Frank. You can stop it at any time now. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden you hear Manny Stewart say, here comes Gaddy back. And he comes in those moments. I remember I was watching it with my dad, and I said, well, Dad said they going straight to the hospital. And I said, yeah. I said, Dad, they shouldn't fall asleep, right? He said, nah, they good. Like, because of all the years of him doing it, mm-hmm. he knew, he's like, oh, nah, they good. It wasn't that bad. They're good. They're good. Like, as bad as it was, he was like, yeah, they're going to go to the hospital, but they're fine. They're good. Mm-hmm. Because you remember when I told him when I got dropped and everything, he was like, yeah, you good, but don't go to sleep. Don't go to sleep, I tell you.
Right.
So it's so many things that play a factor, but with those things is weight. Is shout out to our boy G-Lo. Shout out to Gio. He asked about this topic. What's contributing to these fighters' deaths? And I'm like, it's a lot of things. It's weight. It's Sometimes it could be gloves. It could be so many things. But weight and the guys ballooning up in weight afterwards. The cerebral fluid around the brain, getting hit, getting exhausted, taking more shots when you're exhausted, not being able to be not make as many mental errors when you're exhausted, which cause you to get hit more. All those things play a factor, man. Then the referee, all those things play a factor, man. It's just a roll of the dice on any night.
I mean, that's kind of what I'm getting at. It's like you rolling the dice, but I think everybody is well aware of what they may possibly be facing when they get to the ring. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I don't like to see people. I'm not saying I want to see people die and get hurt.
Of course, I think anybody who think that is a fool that think that you saying that.
But I think a lot of these fights, especially recently, a lot of these fights could have been let go. It was a fight last week, and the ref was saying if he don't start fighting back, I'm gonna stop the fight. The dude was never hurt, and it was a close fight. It was close. I think the fight, the guy, he lost by like 1 or 2 rounds. The ref was gonna stop it just because he was taking punishment, but he never.
Oh yeah, my dad was mad as a mug about that fight.
You never saw his knees buckle. You never saw him look tired. He was just getting caught with clean shots, and it was early in the fight. I'm gonna stop the fight if he don't start showing me something. Like, what do you mean? So it's a close fight. It's a good fight.
The fight with
It was last weekend on the Fundora undercard.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about, man. My fault was warm.
Yes,
he was warm.
That's what I'm talking about. How you gonna rob a fighter from that moment?
Yes.
Talking about you gonna stop the fight. This is boxing. They signed a contract. They trained for this moment. They've been fighting their whole lives to get to this moment.
Yep.
You gonna rob him or stop the fight? Come on, man.
Yeah, and
that's what I'm getting at.
Oh yeah, and that happens too. It's those factors. And then you got, factors of, Nigel Benn, Gerald McClellan, the great Gerald McClellan, where Lord knows if he hadn't left Manny Stewart, and we all, I hate to put it like this, they probably in heaven now reconciling or whatever, but it was some things that happened to where the Crunk Trunks were never worn again. And he went on and left Manny Stewart, and he had a ragtag team with him that was in his corner for Nigel Benn. And Manny Stewart admitted that he was watching the fight pissed off. Not sad, but pissed off, because he said he would have stopped that fight in the 6th round.
Right.
And that would have saved Gerald. Because you started seeing Gerald fighting with his mouthpiece the wrong way. That was the dead tail sign right there. Stop this thing. And the type of ferocious person that, if you know anything about G-Man and the history of him, he was menacing. He was evil. And the thing that kept him going that night was that Michigan man mentality. He was a dog. He was a killer. So that's how he went out, and those situations, along with the factors BINK just said, those all play a factor. And when it comes to the situation, with women's fighting, and you got a big fight like this with Savannah and Clarissa and Alicia and Michaela, when is enough too much? If it were to happen that way in these 2 fights, when is it? Because now you're dealing with women. You know how the boxing commission be talking about women or whatever. Less rounds, less minutes, and all that other stuff.
I should let them go at it.
Yeah, like, dude, they spar us. Yeah. They spar us.
And
like,
he put in work at that. Like, don't get it twisted.
And 3 minutes, 5 minutes in the gym. So and 2, they got good people in their corner to know. But anywho, if it were to be a war like that, I just know over there, and when you dealing with the BBBOC, you better make sure you stomp your opponent if you're American going over there fighting them. And already you got bad blood with them, because they already looking at you as a loudmouth American. You better handle your business and leave absolutely no doubt, because Clarissa will have a Pernell Whitaker moment. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's a great point. Great point, man. Let's hop to the other part of the country. Let's go, not the country, the world. All the way down to Australia. Down under. Let's go down under. Pause. Haney versus Kambosos.
Why, bro?
Bro, because
why? You didn't have to do that. You didn't have to do that.
Let's go Haney Kambosos.
Did he have to do that? Everything was good. Miss K, eyes on me. Did he really? He ain't have to do it. Everything was fine, wasn't it? Everything was good. He ain't have to do that. No, I ain't letting that shit ride. Because if y'all notice, these last few episodes, pause. He'll say real smooth while he's saying, yeah, man, such and such, pause. Now he try to do awesome. Like, bro, you are the moderator. You're the master of ceremonies for this show.
Hey,
if anything, it'd be me to say somebody, because it's quiet as it's my mouth they worried about on here. Like, it's me.
No bull. No bull.
It's my mouth they worrying about causing trouble here with this show.
I be trying to censor myself.
Like,
I really do. But yeah, pause. What the Haney versus Kambosos. Haney Kambosos 2. In my most humble opinion, I was talking about this fight last night. With Corey, Side Nation. Shout out to Corey from Side Nation Sports. He's doing it big out here, signing some new guys.
Oh, man.
Different athletes, basketball players, footballers, college athletes. Shout out to Corey from Side Nation Sports. But we were talking. He brought up a good point. He said, Haney might lose this fight. Hold on. He said, Haney might lose this fight. I said, what you mean? He said, think about it. Second fight, back in his hometown, different judges, new referee. He can't go in there and fight him the same.
So it's back what we were just talking about. Okay.
So and then I was like, okay, damn, that's a great point. I mean, Devin does have a phenomenal skill set, but he's a boring fighter. So he goes back into enemy territory for a second time. Now, this isn't me. I'm saying a boring style to the masses, what people call boring. How does he take out Kambosos? Sticking behind the jab. He gonna have to start sitting down on things. Which brings to my other point. Does he really want to sit down with Kambosos? Does he really want to sit down? I'm not saying Kambosos, he's a smaller guy. I'm not saying he's more powerful, but we've seen the snapping, whipping power that he has. Mm-hmm. And the ability he has to catch you when, like you say, exhale, when you take a step back, when you let your glove slip down a little bit, that snapping, whippy power to put you on the canvas. Does he really want to sit there with Kambosos, or should he fight him the same way he fought him the first time?
When I was coming in here today, the first thing I was going to say is Kambosos can't come in there with that weak-ass game plan that he had last time. I don't care what excuses he had. I don't care. But because if anything, I mean, I get it. Maybe it was a big shock for him because he had fought most of the time over here. Yeah. Now your body got to get reacclimated to being back home, whatever. But at the same time, if anything, that should be more what we should have worried about with Devin. Right. And what did you hear me talk up Kambosos about? Of course, I kept on picking Devin because I'm saying that jab is the thing. Mm-hmm. But what did y'all hear me talk up Kambosos for? What, about a month leading up to that fight? What did I keep saying, bro? Man, if he fight anything like he fights normally and he fights like he did Teofimo, Devin really got to pump that jab,
He's a ferocious counterpuncher, man. Ferocious.
He got to throw that jab. He got to keep that jab pumping and use them feet to dart in and out, whatever. But he didn't do that. So now going into the second fight, he really got to bring back that George Kambosos or those all the other, I'm not even gonna say that Teofimo fight because for people who don't know, they just getting used to seeing Kambosos with that fight. I've been watching them. Shout out to Miss LL at LL Cool Jane on Instagram. She the one who got me hip to him. Usually, everybody come to me about who this guy is. I didn't know who he was until I think he was 11-0. No, I'm sorry, I think he was 14-0. And Miss Cool Jane, Miss Jane was like, oh, hey, I know you always watch fights. Get you hip to this guy. Sent me his highlight clip. It was Molly Percocet remix, and the other one was a Tupac remix on his highlight video. And he was in top. Oh, this dude staying shit. He over there in the corner in between rounds dancing and everything. I mean, triple hooking. Ripping shots. Good speed, snap, pop. Oh, continuous good way to knowing that his feet aren't as fast as everybody else. So he's gonna make sure he can make a quick move to slide over, slide pivot, whatever. Rip again. I'm like, I like this man. Then I started watching him staying on top of what he was doing. And what made me a believer is when he fought my boy, Mickey Bay. When he fought my boy, Mickey Bay, even though I feel like if Mickey Bay didn't have such a long layoff, he would have got him because he still gave Kambosos all he wanted. He basically fought Kambosos the way Teofimo was supposed to. Because Mickey was bigger than him. So it was like, but man, I was like, oh, this right here, good God. But he always fights like that. What you saw against Teofimo, he always fights like that. He just made sure everything was on point. He took it up a notch for that fight because it was the perfect timing for him to do that. Then you get to going back home and fighting Devin, and you fight that way. So he has to come in on point. Now to Devin. We all was worried. Maybe they knew we were worried. Maybe they knew, man, we know we can't rob this kid if he boxes a masterful fight. We can't take it from him because everybody's expecting us to take it from him. Just saying. That's just Silk talking shit. Like we're just throwing it out there. What if that was what the conversation was? And we got the rematch clause. Now we're going to do this again. And we're going to change the glove. We're going to do this. And I want to know if the ring size changed. That's what I want to know. That's what my biggest worry is. With the date, does the ring change?
In the smaller ring?
Yeah, I wonder. Is the ropes tighter or looser? Those type of things.
You can spring them right back in.
Yeah, because, it's the champ can negotiate that. The champ can negotiate that. So, and the reason, and so, well, Devin's the champ. Yeah, but we all talked about how effed up this contract was for that, like the risk Devin is taking to be great and sign this contract.
Yeah.
All right, we all talked about this. So it's like, I wonder, what is if the size of the ring change, if the ropes are tighter or look, because the ropes are tighter, it's more difficult for you to slide off. It's more like you hitting a wall almost. And now that little bit of space of leaning in this chair, and then you can slide off. Now you can't. Now it's more like running into this wall, and now you trapped a little easier. Those things, ring size, all those different things come into a factor. Now you got the referees changing, judges is changing, things like that. So you start to wonder, what are we in store for?
Right.
And if I'm Devin, because I told you I love this. I think I said in another episode, I love this performance. But what I didn't like was I didn't feel like he closed the show.
He didn't. He felt very comfortably. He just boxed the shit out of him.
And I felt like he had him under control enough. Rounds 10 through 12, he should have, his father should have like, man, and Yoel, but I honestly believe if Yoel Judah, if Bill wasn't there and Yoel Judah would have had those last 2 rounds, there might have been a bigger chance of him saying, yo, walk this boy down, man. Go walk him down, do this, that, and the third. I really believe that.
Well, Devin said he gonna knock Kambosos out this fight. He gonna beat him up, knock him out.
Cause he probably watching that tape saying, dang, I really could have
saw the opens, man. But that was a deflated Kambosos though. He didn't let his hands go. He didn't throw those punches and bunches.
Nothing.
The counterpunch, he'll slip and counterpunch you with 3 punches. I didn't see that. If that's the Kambosos that we about to get, the guy's gonna come at you and give you 3, 4, or 5 punches at a time. This could be a very interesting fight. I mean, shit. I'm thinking about it. Who has more speed, do you think?
Seriously?
Overall.
Devin. Yes.
Now, it's different kinds of speed. You got speed from the outside, you got speed from the inside. Just like you got guys on the D-line that's quick as hell within 5 yards. And you got some guys that are fast at 15, 20 yards. So when they get inside of those exchanges on the inside, who has more speed if they want to throw punches and bunches and takes away the jab? Who you giving that advantage to? I'm going to say Kambosos.
Speed, darting in and out, I would say Devin. Sliding off the pivot, like, instead of just, a pivot go like this, I'm talking about that hop pivot, like sidestep pivot. I give it to Kambosos. And, maybe ripping 2s and 3s. He could shoot it faster, but a simple 1-2, giving it to
Devin all day.
Oh my God, that joint is pretty to watch.
I agree. That's all I'm saying. It's different kinds of speeds, different levels to it. You know what I'm saying? But overall, it's a great fight. I think it should be interesting, but I don't want to see Devin leave this in the hands of the judges. I want to see Devin bring this home, without any doubt. Any doubt. He got to bring this one home, put a beating on him, beat him up like you said you're going to do, and if you can get the knockout, go for it. But, yeah, great fight, man. Let's go over here, pay-per-view. We got Deontay Wilder. I know you don't want to talk about it, but we got to talk about it because I want to see the undercard.
Nah, now you want to put the camera on me when I look away because you're trying to see if I'm going to walk away?
Nah. And honestly, hold on though. This might be a good fight though.
See, y'all, bro, 1 second, sir. Y'all don't understand. Like, Miss K be pulling his, I think them two be in cahoots
Nah, you be getting caught slipping, yo.
Because then, right when he said, I know you don't want to talk about it, I lean in the chair. All of a sudden, I can see myself on the camera while he the one who's analyzing this situation. And she took the camera off the guy.
We gotta talk about everything, man. For real, this is the Bronze Bomber's return.
I'm happy for him.
You know what I'm saying? The opponent may not be the opponent that we want him to fight right now.
He can fight, though.
But like the dude can fight. He's overcame. He beat Adam Kalnaki before Kalnaki wasn't himself anymore.
Some people say he broke him. I'm hearing that.
Right. He was supposed to lose that fight to Adam Kalnaki. And he beat him twice, right? Rematch him, beat him twice.
Yes.
So that's okay. I'm really who I say I am. Former sparring partner of Deontay Wilder.
Yeah.
So they got history. Yeah,
camps,
right.
I think, right?
Right.
So
camps. They know each other. I think it's not the matchup I would like to see, but I think it's a good matchup for him. We've seen Deontay struggle with guys that are taller than him, a little bit bigger than him. How does this fight play out? You're gonna say right hand. Right hand.
He should be fine. I mean, he should be fine. Shouldn't be gun shy. He should be good. It'll be interesting to see what shot he takes to see if he's still, clicking. They say, I can still take the shot. When some guys, as weird as it sounds, like, side note, I hate when people watch that, the casuals, like my mixtapes and all of them who act like they want to follow boxing. All of a sudden they post stuff. They post Tank. They only post Tank. They only post Canelo or whatever. But they post Tank when he was with Gilly and them, and he said, yeah, sometimes I let the guy hit me to see if I'm, see what I'm working with. That's normal because you taught to you walk. He ain't necessarily letting them crack you on the jaw, but basically you walk and you pick and you rock with certain shots. So sometimes you may catch on. Let's see what type of power you're dealing with. And if you're coming off of taking a big war, taking certain shots, you may rock off with the shot like how you would see Duran do when he would do this.
Canelo do it real well too,
and let it scrape you just enough. Like, okay, I'm reacting well. I'm not hurt. I'm not even deceptively hurt. When how I was saying, like, one time I was more hurt on my feet than I was on the ground, where it's like my legs, I'm here, but I know I'm hurt. He don't know I'm hurt, but I know I'm hurt, type of thing. Like how is he gonna react? Because Hellenius can crack, so it's like, okay, what if he gets hit with a right hand and see how he handles it? Because he just was in back wars, so you want to see how you react, how everything goes, because now, even though you did it in sparring, you want to see how you're gonna do it with the 10s on there.
Right, it's always different without the headgear on. That's what everybody says. So
so that's the big thing. That's the telltale. Shout out to Mr. Malik, his trainer. That's why I really can't wait to see. What is he? It sounds like he's been listening. He's listening to Malik more than he ever listened to Mr. Mark Breland. And I have, a good relationship with Mr. Malik. And I have a small relationship with me. You have a small relationship with Mr. Mark. So. And you remember what he told us in that dressing room that night. So you wonder what new tools he on. But the thing that got me was him at Gleason's shaking out on media day. I posted it on my story. They did the little pool stick thing with the glove on the end.
I just saw that joint.
And they doing this. They not even doing this like timing it. See how you react. What? See how you react. It's just like, dog, bruh. He see that, and then he's doing all. And they hyping this man up. His team. Nah, dog, I'm dead ass. They hyping him up like it's highlight. Remember the whole joint with Drake's highlight bling? Hotline Bling joint
it's like
with the
it's
girls?
It's like when kids be like, hey, watch this. And they do some silly
shit.
shit.
Yeah, and you go ahead, boy. Yeah. You do your thing, baby. Oh, they bring you home that dueling shit.
Hey, look what I made in school.
Look what I made in school.
It's
you with this and this. And you looking at it and you just got to go, hell yeah, baby. I'm putting it up on the refrigerator. Baby. It was that.
Look what I drew you in school today.
Like, like, and
Oh,
it's
that's
like,
nice.
I'm putting it on the refrigerator,
You got a
baby.
lie like shit. Oh, that's real nice.
Cause it's like, dog, why y'all hyping this man up? I swear it was like when Drake had Hotline Bling and they showed the backstage of him dancing on the, and the girls like, woo, go ahead, just like, what? This dude was just doing this. That's all he was doing, and they was hyping up. Man, I keep telling y'all, the hang-ons is real. It's real in this game, man. Like dudes was, man. He's bringing it back. Yeah, D. Yeah, Tay. I see you back. Get the bro. If he would have did this while the dude was doing it like nonstop, if he would have went pick, catch, rock, like something like that, oh yeah, I would have like pick it, then let the second one hit his shoulder, let the third one hit him here. Like, okay, yeah, his vision getting a little better. That was a good reaction. But he wasn't doing nothing. He was not doing anything. Slim, I can't, dog. I can't. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and lie, bro. I'm not gonna do it. I don't care what my relationship is. I'm going to tell the truth. I'm not going to lie. That was some bullshit. I'm glad that the door is closed because my nephews are out there, my big sister's out there. I ain't trying to lie. Like that, I don't want them to hear me cursing. But that was some bullshit.
No, for real.
Because you seen when I was working with my dad, it's like my father was throwing some heat at my head, like for me to slip stuff. Shout out Lil Drew. When Lil Drew was coming for my head, even though it was just defensive work. Mm-hmm. He wasn't trying to knock me out, but he was throwing it full hand open, but full speed. Hand open, but full speed. And I gotta react to it.
Right.
You know, different guys like shout out Quick. Quick would have to put his hands behind his back and stuff like that with the Fox boys, and he had to move his head, stuff like that, like little stuff. And if you're just starting out with a guy and you're trying to make him move his head, the first thing you want him to do, because you're not just gonna throw full speed stuff at him and just say, "Hey, move your head," because he's not used to that. You want to get him used. Get Big Country used to picking and catching, picking, catching, picking. Using his forearm, then get him used to picking and using his forearm. And with his big hands, grab your glove, move it out the way, little stuff like that. Then, all right, cool. Now let's get him to just picking and moving. Just enough. Picking, moving, just enough. It wasn't even that he was doing. It wasn't even that.
It wasn't, but I'm pretty confident that was just for the media day. And I'm pretty sure that's not what they do in the camp. I hope and pray that's not.
This is where I go get my heat pad. Because I was about to text Kenichi to go get it. You go and tell them that bullshit. I'm gonna go get my heat pad.
There is no way. There's no way that they in camp doing that BS that they was doing right there, man. But in my most humble opinion, man, I do like this fight. He don't like this fight between Hellenius and Wilder. Former sparring partners, they know each other. But I feel like it's a good test. It's a good showcase for Wilder to come in here and show us that right hand is still alive. He can still detonate that right hand whenever he wants to. Honestly, it should be open for him. Hellenius is a straight up and down, stand up and down opponent. He should have no problem touching him up. I hope Deontay Wilder finds his jab and can use his jab consistently in this fight.
Really?
I hope he worked it. I hope he worked on it in the camp because he tried to come out with that jab against Tyson Fury that last fight and it only lasted like 2 rounds.
It didn't even last that.
It was max 2 rounds. And he's tried to stick the jab to the body, but I hope he finds a way. And I hope he works on it because he should have no problem with Hellenius. I hope he takes this fight to work on his skill set, work on some new things, and show us that he still belongs at the top of this division. Because there's some dogs coming up in the heavyweight division. There's some young boys coming up in the heavyweight division that's gonna make some noise. Big baby coming for everybody, man. So I hope, I hope this is a good fight to showcase and work on some new things. This is like a scrimmage. It's a scrimmage for him. It should be. Go ahead.
Okay. So you saying that jab, right? I walk. You know what's funny? My little walk out there, my little nephew waited on me. He saw I was upset, and he gave me my stress ball.
You need more than that.
He gave me my stress ball.
You need more than that.
Big son, my nephew, he came and gave me my stress ball because he just knew Uncle Silk looks a little irritable. So I'm going to give Uncle Silk his ball. He went up to me and did this. And I said, no, you keep. He said, And it went like the axe maker. He's like, no, I think you needed more than me. And I come back in here. And I hear my brother talking some BS about a jab.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell me.
I said this. For years, You dream. He's not the hardest hitter in history. I'm sorry, that goes to Ernest Shavers, and I ain't backing off on it. But Lord knows he is blessed with one hell of a right hand. Lord have mercy. I mean, he make consecutive. It wasn't just one opponent. Like what he did with Terry Harper. What happened with Terry Harper and Alicia Baumgartner? Big Country done did that 4 times over the guys.
A lot of Bama's got put down with that joint.
And it went stiff or had convulsions on the canvas. I mean, scary stuff. Only one other person I've seen that's hitting with that same type of convulsion power that's scaring people, and it's Lawrence Okoli. He hit that Bama, and that dude was still fighting to stand up.
Yeah, him in the Bama Ajagbe.
Yes.
He lost his last fight, but he do got that kind of power.
Yes.
He hit that Bama, made him do a 360, 720 into the
and
canvas.
then smashed to the ground.
Yeah, and it was out.
Out. You know, and I'm telling you something, heavyweight power different. I done been in there with heavyweights. Shout out to Dennis. I think that picture's still on there. He wasn't even trying to hurt me. Threw a jab and it bust my nose, started bleeding. They was switching us in and out. So he would get out, Keon to get in, stuff like that. And all of a sudden, Keon did this. I said, what's wrong? Your nose. I was like, what? And that's you got a bloody nose, boy. Jarrett's Coach Slight, former heavyweight from the 80s. Beat Carl the Truth Williams, beat a lot of guys. Jerry Jones, Coach Slight, he got a bloody nose. That boy don't bleed. And he went and got a towel boarded over. And Dad had to do what he did, got my nose stopped. Man, my nose was so sore. I said, Dad, I swear, I turned into a little kid all over again. After I went home, and I'm just laying there. Every time I breathe, it was like hurting. It was sore. Dad, my nose hurt. And he said, I bet it do. That's 200 pounds landing on that nose.
Laying in the bed like this.
Slim. Man, that's 200 pounds landing on that nose. And you know, so
back to the jab.
Those shots, just a jab that I got hit with was that. So imagine you being in there with a guy that's like that. That joke is crushing. So now you got to take it to somebody like Deontay Wilder. Somebody like Deontay Wilder with the right hand that he got. You already know his jab is the type of jab that he can leap from way back and close distance faster than what people realize. And boom, he extends it, and then he drops the right hand. I said this years ago. He has a thudding power that's concussive, that makes guys have convulsions and things like that. And he does it just enough to where he's actually starting to control guys. Look at the old tapes. I done said it way back before the show. So he's starting to now grab guys by the back of the neck and control them over here. He's starting to do that. He's starting to, blind guys a little more. He's not bow and arrow as much no more. But he never added anything else to that jab.
That's what I'm getting at. Is he going to use his jab, hook off the jab, throw it downstairs, blind with the jab? My fault.
I'm getting to that.
Go ahead.
Let me cook, damn it.
My fault. Cook up.
I'm sitting there watching this boy, and I never get my fault. I said, man, and so many other guys from this, I was like, man, if that boy actually just it ain't got to be as good as Larry Holmes, but can you imagine if this boy, it ain't got to be swinging from here, but if he just fainting and then throwing it, shooting it up and stuff like shoot an up jab, God rest his soul, Marshall Hollingsworth Bay, he said, there's a jab and then there's a jab. And he's like, can you imagine, bro, because he done had broken hands, multiple broken hands. He done had torn biceps. He done had a few things.
Right.
And if I've had that many, I'm thinking in my head, what if my right hand breaks and the certain takes it away from me? And I only got my jab. So then you get to the Fury fight, and what was the main thing he was doing? Jabbing to the body, right? But every time he jabbed to the body, he was off balance.
Stiff. Yes, it was.
He was falling over.
It was so forced.
It was so forced.
That was the game plan. Go to the body and then drop the right hand over the top. Try to catch him upstairs. Try to get him to bring his hands down and right hand over the top. But it was so predictable. After he threw the first one, I said, okay, he's really focusing on probably looking right here and eyes big, and I'm going to jab the body.
And he's losing balance.
Yeah, right.
Losing balance.
He telegraphed everything.
And I'm like, he's not even on balance. Everything is so stiff. And I'm like, why didn't he he stabbed to the body the first time. Now this time, push his glove, like put your hand up, like move, just put your hand right, just bop, and then go ahead. And then, start adding a little stuff to it. Bop, then throw a hook. Bop, come upstairs with a hook off the jab. Bop, and as soon as he think the hook is coming, step away. Step away. And I'm saying all this stuff without. It's not gonna take a lot of slickness, and we know Deontay's not that slick. This will be right up his alley to where he ain't gotta do. It's right up his skill set. Just boom, walk off. Just get Tyson Fury thinking enough, just enough, because automatically he done been in the ring since a kid. There's nothing too much that Deontay can do to make him go, what is he trying? Whatever. But just enough to get this man, because we put him on the ground already before. So we just got to keep him thinking. That's just enough. And maybe even get him relaxed enough to where I land the right hand again. And I'm like, why is he not? And then he started to get tired and sloppy and sloppier. And it's just like, dude, if I had power like that, I'm practicing every damn thing. And I know I'm more elusive than somebody. And it's heavyweights like Big Baby. Big Baby, you might want to see him do rocking off all that stuff. Because you see him, he's a little bit more coordinated than Deontay. So we know Deontay's not gonna do certain things. So it's like, okay, let's just get him 6 inches and out. That's all I need to do. Here and here. Let's just get him here. Let's just get him stalking guys. Just enough. Like, cause I said on the thing, like, man, I would tie his legs together, his ankles, just in enough, like they did Rocky Marciano, to where his legs won't go so far. Cause sometimes his feet be too far apart.
Like he about to do a split.
Like his feet be too far apart sometimes. I'm like, nah. And I'll be in camp watch, and I'll be like, you gonna go from corner to corner for 6 rounds. Touch corner, then go backwards. Touch corner, go forward. And then the next round, we working on back foot, swing, left foot, follow, back foot, swing, left foot, follow. Just working on stalking. Then I'm having them do C pattern work. Like say, Hellenius, just keep moving. And y'all ain't hitting each other hard, we just putting jabs out there. But I want him to get used to walking to his guy and catching and shooting it. And I said, Deontay, I don't want no simple jab. I want it, catch it, and I want you to shoot a up jab. We need to get that up jab a little stronger. Then the second round. After 4, we gonna, because we're doing 12. So after 4, then we're gonna start pumping it regular. Just little stuff like that. And it's because, he ain't gonna be he ain't gonna be on his toes like Larry Holmes. We get that. And then as those 2-3 fights progress, then we start swinging it. Pop, shooting it here, pop, shooting it here, And at a certain point, it's like, okay, either you don't want to do it because you can put guys out of there. But like I've been told by so many great guys, man, I remember this old time season, man, I've been around some of the hardest hitters. Ernie Shaver, Sonny Liston, all these different guys. And they all had like Sonny Liston had one of the most beautiful jabs you ever wanted. Like broke guys' faces with his jab before the right hand ever came.
Right.
And it's just some guys that you come across that ain't gonna fall. They just not gonna fall.
Right.
It's just how it is. And he came across it with Tyson Fury. It's just some guys that don't fall.
He got his ass up.
Like
damn.
Like it's some guys that just, you hit him with everything. And this dude keep coming. Or I put him down and he gets up. And it's a whole different fight. It changes guys. And you just wonder, man, if Deontay had a hook off the jab, if he had a 132, if he had a 123, if he had a different feint on the left hand a little more, what else could he add to that or whatever? Right. And the pick, but yet it's like theatrics almost. Instead of working on my pick, let it hit my shoulder, let it hit this glove. I'm gonna make this.
That's what I'm saying. It was theatrical. I think that was just for the camp.
Bull, because he done it on multiple times and posted him working out on his page.
So you think they actually train that? They training that, bro? Damn, that's crazy, bro. That's my first time seeing him do the.
That's my first time seeing him do that, but that's not too far from all the other times throughout his career where he's trained.
If that's the case, that's sad, man. Because we know what Deontay. Everybody know the right hand, but we've all been clamoring to see him add more to his game. Like everything you just said is what I was getting at when I said, "Is he going to use his jab?" This is the perfect fight. What? This is the perfect fight against Hellenius, a former sparring partner, to come in here and work on everything that you just said. Because he should honestly really have no problems getting Hellenius out of it.
You know what? Let's just go ahead and say it, bro. Because it ain't like what he sold us in the dressing room. Wasn't too far from what he said on other platforms in other interviews, like with Spencer Farron and Tunde Ajayi, what did Coach Mark Breland tell us? The great Mark Breland. What did he tell us in that dressing room that night when we brought it up? Because this how people saw the pictures, and I was like, when we turned the corner, I was like, dog, that's freaking Mark Breland. You look, you like, dog.
I said, what's Mark Breland doing here?
And I was like, I think he was with Dimes, and the great 2000 contender. Dominic Gwynn was down. I was like, yo, that's Dominic Gwynn, whatever. So I'm chit-chatting, talking boxing with them. And he gave us that compliment, you know, and that was, man, that made our night, you know. But then I just couldn't help it. Me and BINK just had to ask. You were the perfect guy to train him because he was he was, of course, in a lighter weight class, but the same body dimensions. Being that long, lanky, whatever. I said, how is it that just the jab didn't improve? He's like, and what did he tell us, bro? They didn't want to improve on nothing else. He just knew what he said. He didn't just say it in front of the camera for y'all. He said it all the time. I don't gotta work on all that stuff because I only need my right hand because they gotta be perfect for 36 minutes. I only gotta be perfect for 2 seconds and then the fight is over.
Tyson Fury debunked all of that, so that's what I'm saying. The next fight, I hope he finally took heed and humbled himself.
I'd see it like this. Mr. Malik is a beautiful, pure boxer. I always enjoy watching. Man, I remember seeing a post because people didn't know who he was, casuals on Instagram, because he was starting to do a lot of photography with him and his girlfriend. And when they were posting it, I'm like, people don't know who this guy is. So I put in the comment, I said, y'all just saying, if y'all honestly don't know who that guy is, that's one of the greatest heavyweight amateurs of all time. Like, he was one of him, Davario Williamson. Like, I think at one point his record was like 100 and something with 3 losses. And then his last 2 losses came in the Olympic trial box-offs.
Right.
Like, that's how good he was. He was a beautiful, pure boxer. And he destroyed a lot of prospects' hopes. I mean, he was beautiful, pure boxer to watch. Like, he came up in Philly with Nazir. He beat Eric Morales. Oh my God, Nazir Rahim.
Okay.
From the Olympic team.
Yeah,
he came up with all them guys. So he's a pure boxer, and he got very, very, very close, very tight with Deontay. And they tight them two are tight where he can listen to Malik, like how you call me anytime I listen to you, like yo, you know, whatever. That's how close they are. So it was perfect. If anybody that was gonna be the coach would be Malik, would be Mr. Malik. But at this end, it's like, okay, yeah, I know that he's gonna work on some things, he's gonna do certain things, and Malik is the perfect guy to say, this is his attributes, this is what I can add to it. But I could tell you what to do all damn day.
You gotta execute.
You gotta go in there and do it. And then if you don't want to do it, then that's on you. Like, you the one in there. So it's like, okay, when he gets in there, he tried to jab to the body, but all he thought was keep throwing the jab to the body. He didn't think of setting no trap. This is the pros we talking about. Highest level. And yes, a simple jab and a simple 1-2 can get you, with a lot of power on it, can get you to that level. But at the same time, the way that he crashed down was brutal. Like, that was a lot of top fighters said that this is what's gonna happen. When he gets to the top level, this is what's gonna, I don't know who is this. Guys was saying this. I don't know who it's gonna be.
I was saying it before he even fought Tyson Fury. I said, so these fight somebody that can box, he gonna run into a lot of trouble. Because they gonna see the 1-2 coming from a mile away, and he's gonna have trouble unless he learn how to box and fight behind his jab. Me and my dad both said that.
And Luis Ortiz was almost that guy.
He was almost that guy. He's almost that guy. He is this close to being that guy, but Fury just really that guy. And it's a couple more guys that are that guy in the division too, but keep going, bro.
And no, because what you're saying is perfect. Because it's like, okay, he goes in there with Hellenius. He's gonna work on some things. And I hope he looks good, you know, but at the same time, you gotta wonder, how much smooth is he gonna look? What can he execute? And is he, if it goes more than 2 rounds or 4 rounds, is he gonna go ahead back to what he know?
It's hard to break bad habits.
Oh yeah, when you that far down the line, It's hard to break that. When you that far down the line, I know trainers who I've talked to, and I asked them, like just after he left Mark Bree, and I just like talking to different trainers, say, so if he was to come to you, would you take him? This is $1 million fighter we talking about. And there was so many top coaches that I talked to, and they said, hell no, I wouldn't take him. I said, what? They said, too many bad habits. It's going to take too long. It's going to take way too long to where I would need a whole year of working with him every single day of the week, and maybe have Friday, Saturday, Sundays off, or Saturday, Sundays off, but working with him all week before we even take another fight. And then hearing the stuff that I'm hearing about how he treated guys and how not wanting to train, now do this on his time or whatever. You got a lot of old time trainers, man, that come from that when you got to think when they fought, how hard the coaches were back then. Yeah, Adrian Davis and them type of coaches, no nonsense. You know, so now they are the Adrian Davises of their time. And these coaches was been like, man, he wouldn't have been able to pull that with me. Like I remember what Freddie Roach did with Chavez when he said he came late and purposely waited on Chavez to come. And when Chavez got there, he left.
Right. Yeah, I remember that.
And like that, he's like, oh, nah, you need to find yourself a new trainer. Pay me for my time that I've been here. You ain't got to pay me for nothing else. You need to find yourself another coach, man.
Indeed.
Or you need to coach yourself.
That's exactly how it should be.
And and people, and the sad part is you got so many dick pullers. I'm calling them what they are. Jock riders, dick pullers that have been clickbaiting on this Fury Wilder thing for what, 2-3 years now.
And still talking about rematch again.
Yeah, don't even know nothing about it. Ain't never been in there. Don't know nothing about gloves. Don't know nothing about what go on with commissions. Don't even know about how dirty the game really is. And if things were to happen a certain way, how it could happen. Don't know nothing about that. But as soon as you say something that they don't agree with, all of a sudden we the coons. Or we the coons, or we don't know what we talking about. Like, dog, you just a whipping boy for him. You just a jock rider.
Right.
You don't even know what you talking about. So me saying what we saying about him, it's like we don't like him, or it's like we don't want to see him do it. Like, no, this dude is like the boy can do it. Like you don't fight 22 amateur fights and make the Olympic team and not have some type of talent to this. You don't sit there, man. I told you, talking to Saddam and talking to Gary and all about how this man came out of nowhere with what Bud said. He said, man, we couldn't even spell Tuscaloosa. We didn't know who, because everybody know each other.
Right.
What happened when Kenichi came back and the guys was coming there when Kenichi started coming up, like some of these guys already had like 50, 80 amateur fights. But everybody know who that kid is.
Yeah.
You know, like, or when we were around, they was like, yeah, no, Julian, yeah, he can fight. He just got such and such. Everybody knows everybody. Nobody knew who he was. And he did what he did. Beat all those top guys that were poster shoe-ins to make the Olympic team. So you know that Bama can rumble. He has, and then he does what he does, but he does nothing else. It's like, bruh, if I could hit like that, I would be adding so much to the repertoire.
Yeah.
What?
To your point, though, what that kind of reminds me of is, say you got a homeboy, right, who wants to be a rapper, and he comes to you with this mixtape. Hey, bro, check my mixtape. And you know that joint is not fire, but you gonna tell him it's fire? Yeah, yo, that joint crank. Like I keep it real. Like, hey, this one was alright. Yeah, this one was good. I ain't, this one was okay, but maybe this would have tried better with this. The dick puller's gonna be like, yo, that was fire. That's a #1 joint. Woo. It's the same thing with Deontay. Us critiquing him and saying we want to see more is not us not liking him. It's we see his skill set, we see where he can improve, and we just want to see him get better to help him out in his own career. We're not out here trying to throw shade on Deontay Wilder.
And little do they know my connections too.
And you really got real connections with Deontay. So it's like, come on, yo. Like all the black fighter argument or the other dumb shit with Tyson Fury or the gloves. Like, no, it ain't that. We just want to see more from a guy that we know has more to give. Am I right or wrong?
Bro, he beat a Cuban. He beat Luis Ortiz, one of the best Cubans of the past, and big men Cubans of the past, I want to say about 10, 15 years.
Man.
And kept him, had him enough worried about this to look at this and got him through this run. Next thing you know, got him with an uppercut. Things like that. All those different things. Weather the storm, things like that. You don't beat no Cubans if you don't have certain attributes to be in there.
Got it, man. Stop lying to your friends. Stop lying to your people, man. If you love somebody, if you really believe in somebody, keep it real with them. Keep it real with them. Stop saying shit is good. Stop just riding away because you don't want to hurt their feelings. Being critical and being honest is going to help them out in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Man, look. Let's take a quick commercial break. And we'll be right back to the show.
Ooh, Lord. Oh man, I guess we kind of needed that one for that one. Lord Jesus.
Take a quick commercial break.
Ooh, cha.
I was born for this. Always know I was the one, didn't know when my time was gonna come. Born for this. Gotta be the voice for the youth, won't stop.
And I can keep this, I can keep the bass on, right? And I can stay even when I'm on the game. Oh, that.
Yo, thank you guys for staying tuned. Make sure you guys check out El Paso, Route 1, Alexandria. They got some fire food. Can't wait to have them come through here and do a food drop at the Kenichi Bed Studios, man. Also, if you guys do not have a pair of the Hibernation 5 headphones yet, make sure you guys go to Kenichi Bed's Instagram, his website, and go cop you guys a page of headphones. They got nothing but the truth, the whole truth. So help me, God. I'll put my hand on the Bible and swear by it. These headphones crank. Go get you a pair, man.
Did you see Francois and Lil J in the
he
gym?
said, I need
he was like, yo.
He need a pair. Yeah, them joints do crank. This isn't no half-ass nonsense. I'm trying to find the best words for this. This isn't no half. Them headphones really crank, man. It's well manufactured. They're beautiful headphones. The quality is top notch. So make sure you guys go check out Kenichi Bed, Hibernation 5. Go grab those up, man. Go grab those up. But let's get back, because I almost got tight talking about that damn topic, man.
Yeah, man.
But just so we get a fight prediction for every fight you're taking Wilder, what round?
I want to say in between 4 and 6 rounds.
Between 4 and 6? Yeah, I'll probably say the same, honestly. Between 4 and 6. I wouldn't even be mad if he went the full 12 and then just worked on his game.
Yeah.
Just worked on new things.
Get him under control, stop him around the 10th or something like that.
Just work on some new things while you got the chance to do it, you know? Also on that card, man, a fight that I'm really looking forward to is Caleb Plant versus Anthony Durrell.
Yeah, that's gonna be a chess match.
Chess match, man. There's real beef here too. I feel like
where did that even come from?
For real, and why everybody got real beef with Caleb Plant? Like everybody really got real beef. Even Canelo had beef, and you know Canelo don't really be beefing like that. But why everybody want to go at Caleb neck like that?
I'm gonna tell you why.
Go ahead.
To me, he doesn't offend me. He just, like, you remember Damon was in camp with him.
Yeah.
They real cool, like, since the amateurs. I remember seeing Caleb around the, I never really hung out with him or talked to him in the amateurs, but I remember seeing him around and all that stuff, you know. His father used to do stuff like this, side story. His father used to do some cruddy jump. He would come in there -- seed, or like, basically he would have a bye.
Right.
His father would walk up to the table and say, who's the kid right under my son? Such and such. All right, put him Nah, they'll say, bump him up to my son's spot. Put my son at the bottom of the ranking. To make him fight the whole tournament with nobody, dog. Like, it was so bad, dog. Yeah. It was so bad. But Caleb don't offend me. Like, Flat from New York, like, he always told me, yeah, he was cool with him in Vegas or whatever. But from what I personally think it is just his mentality. Cause this mentality that he has would have flew fine in the 70s, the 80s, any era before now. It would have flew. Lord, I sound like my mother when I said that. Country is a mother. So, but it would have flew fine then. Like, you know what Tyson said when he said, these fighters, you know, they're making this, and this. You know, they're starting to get to your equivalent each fight or passing it. And he said, nah. These new fighters today are businessmen. I was a killer who made money. You know, and because remember what I told you back then, my mom, it was so many great fighters I was around, and all of them had this same mentality that I'm about to say, because even my mother was shocked when my father said this. He was like, so how you gonna fight? You just always got to take them as they come. Just take them as they come. So that was their mentality, and you wasn't friends with nobody in your division, one below, and barely any above, one high. That's kind of how it was. Like, it was on. If you were friends with somebody in your division, it was rare. It was something since childhood type of thing.
So you're saying he ain't trying to be friends with nobody? He's here to box.
Yeah, he's there to
get the titles, build his legacy, and get out. He's not here to be buddy and on Instagram and everything.
Because you see how guys are these days.
I'm not fighting him. We cool. Like,
it's nothing wrong with that necessarily, but I mean, it's guys that it's a little watered down in a sense, like the competition wise, and some of them are guys who box that aren't fighters in a sense. If you get my drift, like there's guys who box who aren't fighters, and you know, and basically that mentality that he has. I mean, let's be honest. What have we really heard Caleb really say about anybody?
He don't really talk.
Anything he says is competition talking. She's like, man, you ain't doing this. You ain't doing it. And if I fight you, it ain't really nothing talking about your fame. None of that stuff. Caleb ain't nothing to really make you say, man, I don't like
that
him.
guy. That guy. So
that's
what my question was like. Why does everybody hate this guy? And I didn't know that, but I knew it now that you said it. But it does make sense. He's not out here trying to be friends. Like, he's in his own lane. He seemed like a quiet dude.
That's his edge.
Yeah, and that's his edge. That's what he kind of might irritate people. Like, he just don't want to be a part of whatever's going on. He's doing what Caleb Plant does, what Caleb Plant wants to do. And I've never heard him really talk bad about nobody. He has supreme confidence in himself. If anything, he always references himself when he's talking in a press conference or building up to a fight. He talks more about himself than his opponent. So it's like, why do y'all hate this guy? I don't know. But guys seem that Darrell can't stand him. He can't stand him. And I don't know, man. But go ahead.
Real quick. I got it in my head. Go ahead, finish what you about to say, because there's something about Darrell I want to say.
About Darrell? I was about to get into the fight, so go ahead.
Stop talking shit about the Darrell brothers, yo. For real. All y'all out there running y'all mouths about them Darrell boys. Them dudes are legends. Them dudes are legends, man. I mean, you talking about one being a former Olympian, the other one just missing it by nose. Like, them dudes were, son, like, Anthony and Andre some bad dudes, man. Y'all can make your little memes and talk jungle because of how Anthony got caught against Uskatagi back when Uskatagi was a killer. And you know, but nah. No. Like, they are some that's a dangerous dudes, man. Them dudes can fight. Even that they one of those guys that at old age you still what you may consider old age. Oh, they're in their 36 or 35, whatever. They have a skill set to where whatever loses a tenth of a second in step, they still know how to box. They still know how to properly fight, and that takes them over. Because I mean, everybody was worried that he was gonna get a working over with the last boy that fought him. The Maniac, the one who
when he
fought the
knocked out?
Lantes, fought the one he knocked out with the uppercut and
yeah.
backflip.
Yeah.
Cause that boy, he come to fight. He
Yeah, that
give
was
you
a
a working
vicious
over.
uppercut.
That
Lord
was
Jesus.
pretty, and you could,
Good
and
God
if you
Almighty.
watching in slow motion, he was setting that up.
He did.
For a minute.
He
It
did.
happened so fast. You thought it was just a reaction. You would think it was just a reaction shot.
Uh-huh.
No, he was setting that bad boy, and I mean, he sent his head to the ceiling.
It remind me what Hitman did to Martin in the episode when he sent him out the
Bruh.
ring.
I mean, you could see his family sitting there, and they knew how bad that shot, because oh my God, that's how bad that uppercut was. Because
Right.
when Maniac hit the ground, like his whole family, when the shot landed, it landed so hard you could hear Maniac go, phew.
You heard? Yes. Imagine hearing that in the ring, like
Yeah,
being in the venue
ringside.
and hearing that. Woo, that Lord Jesus.
And everybody all the way up to the top went, oh.
Mm-hmm.
And you knew that those are those shots that you feel go all the way up your arm, that you think you broke your hand or something. They go all the way up through here, feel it through your elbow. That's why you see Anthony start jumping, like, because you feel that go, ooh, because those shots, you dream of landing a shot like that, 1-point shot like that.
Oh God, that was beautiful.
Man, and so, yeah, like, people just don't understand. Like, man, I know, because watching them, because when they were when it was them and Andre Ward and all them, I was a kid. I'm watching them. They were the class ahead of me type of thing. And they were revered.
Right.
Revered, man. So y'all, I mean, don't get it twisted. Y'all need to really know your history about who y'all talking about. But we all know y'all wouldn't do that if they were actually in front of you. And they got that type of family that you can try that if you want to. I don't know how well that's gonna go for you. I don't know. You better come ready. You better come heavy. You better come prepared.
I seen this little video on Instagram. This dude drew a chart. He was like, fuck around and find out. How much you fuck around is how much you gonna find out.
Exactly.
That's really crazy. So it's families like that. Like, I know we know it's families like some guys in the boxing game where the more you fuck around, the more you gonna find out. And it may not even be in the ring. You gonna find out when you least expecting it. So all that jibber jabber and talking, we ain't gonna do that on the show. We'll never disrespect nobody like that on this show. We're gonna keep it classy and keep it real.
Bro. What was about the Uskatagi thing?
Yeah.
My thing is about people saying that Caleb ain't fought nobody. He fought Uskatagi. Uskatagi was the boogeyman at that time.
I thought he was gonna lose that fight, to be honest.
Yeah, because he had beaten other boxers. Like, okay.
Yeah, I thought Caleb was gonna lose that fight. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
I thought the same thing. I was like, oh man, I don't know about this, because at the time Uskatagi was hitting guys and they were totally thinking different. Their whole game plan would change.
Right.
Just to try to survive and get through it. Like, Uskatagi was on top of his game. And if you really think about it, the way that Uskatagi caught Andre, yes, it was after the bell. And you know that, okay, Caleb is a little faster and he's younger and his feet a little more fluent to do a little more tricks with his feet. He can maybe keep him off, but Lord, what's going to happen when he gets hit? And when I saw Uskatagi catch Caleb with that hook in between exchanges twice, and Caleb took it without a problem, and he said to him, and I don't know how true this is, maybe Caleb could tell me if it's true or not, but people told me when he got hit with the hook in between, he told, through his mouthpiece, he told Uskatagi, you can't break a poor boy's chin.
Sound like something he would say.
You can't break a poor boy's chin.
I can hear him saying that. I could definitely hear Caleb saying that.
And so I don't know how true that is, but basically, and when I saw he took that shot well, I said, nope, he's fine. He's gonna be fine. He'll be able to get in and out wherever he wants to, and Uskatagi not gonna find him. And the longer this fight go, the worse it's gonna be for Uskatagi, because he's not gonna find him. And Uskatagi doesn't cut off the ring that well. He'll dart in pretty good, but he's gonna follow you a little more. And by that time, Caleb's gonna be gone. And then by that time, he's gonna dart in and dart out and be gone. Next thing you know, he darted in, shot a counter hook, and dropped Uskatagi.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, now he's gonna be fine.
That was vicious.
So.
Real quick though, I want to touch on this comment from El Paso, Route 1 Alexandria. If you guys in the DMV area, anywhere close to Alexandria, at El Paso Route 1. He said Monday, the 24th, kids 10 or younger dressed in a costume will eat for 99 cents off their kids' menu only. El Paso will have a magician performing from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. He said candy will also be passed out. So if you guys are in the area, in the DMV, anywhere close to Alexandria, Arlington, D.C., go check out El Paso Route 1 and get your kids some candy and some food, man. Thank you for that, El Paso Route 1. Thank you. But back to what you were saying, bro.
Thinking about the food now.
Man, we got to get that food drop, man.
I'm thinking about that steak with the rice.
We got to get that food drop, man. Lord Jesus. Bro. Team, we got to set that up ASAP, team. We got to set that up. We working on it. But yeah, so going back to the fight, though, Plant versus Darrell.
Yeah, take my mind off of it, man.
Yeah, man. I've been thinking about this fight for a couple of days. I really like Caleb Plant. I really do, man. I like what he showed against Canelo. I like what he showed. First 6-7 rounds, boxed him beautifully. I think he'll do the same with Darrell. I think he's gonna box the hell out of Darrell and use his athleticism and speed. And I might even got him sitting down a little bit with him in a couple of exchanges, getting out, not staying there too long, getting out, but just showing that, yeah, I can do this too. And then getting back into his bag and doing his thing, boxing beautifully, rolling with the punches, getting out off the rope, sliding out, doing his thing. What you think?
Yeah, I can see that, but you gotta also think with Anthony, this ain't David Benavidez. Like, okay, he was still giving David Benavidez some issues, even with the cut, just off of his jab.
Right. It was a bad cut, too.
Yeah, it was a horrible cut.
I forgot about that. It was a bad cut.
I mean, but his jab kept him. He was doing good things against David, but that cut also hindered him for David to pick up the pace more. And sometimes when you're in there with a guy who don't hit as hard, not throwing as many punches, makes it a lot easier for you to do your thing.
Right.
So now you got to wonder, this could be foot on foot in the center ring. Oh, what you gonna do? All right, what you gonna do? Yeah, what's up? All right, okay, all right. I'm setting this shot. All right, I'm gonna give you this just so you go. Okay, there it is. It's back. I could see them taking it back to the amateurs, and it's just feint, walk for a hot second, and then now they back in the center, and it's just this hit it. Inches. This I can see this being a chess match of tenths of a second and half an inch to an inch gaps.
Right. And that's what's entertaining about boxing. That's what we appreciate about the sport is the thinking game that's in it, that's involved behind it. It's not just, they scared to throw punches. These guys are not scared to throw punches, man. Y'all freaking casuals kill me with that. They're scared to throw punches. No, they in there calculating. It's like a praying man is waiting for that damn cricket to walk by, how he calculates and he sizes and he strikes. That's what it is, man. It's calculated punishment, aggression, and skill, man. Like, so casuals, man. I hope y'all tuned in. If you in here and you watching, I hope y'all tuned in. These guys are not scared to throw punches, man. It's gonna be beautiful.
You don't understand that, man. I mean, it's not that. It's guys, y'all don't understand. Is that these shots that are landing, especially if you're in there with a guy with good defense, or you're in there with a guy who can hit hard, or it's, you have all these different aspects, different things that a guy brings into the table, and you're going against that with your attributes. And let's say if it's a guy who hits very hard, who has crushing power, your whole thing is your anxiety goes up to where it's, okay, I could be hurt anytime. But it's about, especially when you taste it the first time and you block it and you feel that shot through the gloves, like that anxiety of, man, if I don't stay on point, I can't fall asleep at no time because I could get knocked out anytime. Please stop doing that. Don't do that. But, my God.
My bad. I got you.
Oh.
My bad. Go ahead.
Football players popping their fingers, pulling, dislocating it. And, oh, my God. Anywho. But, you got guys, man, that you're sitting there thinking, so it's the feet. Okay, where's the foot going to go? Okay, he's cutting me off, so I'm gonna try to dip and slide over here. And and then you got guys who, let's say if it's no power, but they got a lot of speed, and their speed is their power, to where it's like they shoot something and they may change the speed on it, and the last two shots be hard, and it's you think he tired, but next thing you know it's oh my God, what the heck? And you gotta respect them type of thing. Those type of, it's so many different aspects, and what boxing is. It's 50% think, 50% let it flow.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to make, when you're dealing with guys like Caleb Plant, if you're derailed, your mind frame is, I'm gonna try to walk him down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna see if I can walk him down. But I'm gonna try to beat him with the jab contest.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I got this being a jab contest the first 4 or 5 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 6.
I can see that.
And you hit him trying to push Caleb back and show him that I can cut you off like Canelo and I'm gonna walk you down. And then
Caleb fights well going backwards though.
Very
off
well.
his back foot.
And comfortably.
Mm-hmm.
Very comfortably. And that's not easy. That is not easy at all. That is not running. That takes years of trial and error and being able to get comfortable with doing that at the highest level. Cause now you're dealing with guys who you could be this far away walking away because they're such elite fighters. They could leap in where if you at the lower level, they can't leap in. They could try to leap in with a hook, but you're gonna see that a mile away and dip and slide out, or you're gonna step over and let it fly past and counter with the right hand and turn him into the ropes. But now you look what happened with him and Canelo. If that was just one level below, Caleb doesn't get hit with that.
Yeah.
With that shovel hook.
Uh-huh.
He does not get hit with that. That's how. And this is just how, this is the art that I love. And this, that I've had the honor of being a part of and being in it with some great guys to where at that chess play level, like with some top amateurs, like, okay, all right, can I make a mistake? Like even my father was like, boy, if you make a mistake, you're gonna know about it. Do this, and this. I'm like, yes, sir, because it's that high stakes, and to get those same compliments in the other corner, it's a beautiful thing, and that's the type of chess play, and these guys are on the commend Darrell for being in the game this long. But this go back where I keep saying to people, he may lose that because I've watched him for so many years. I know what little bit of step he may have lost. And in boxing, 1/10 of a second loss in step is huge. But he makes up for it beautifully. Even through the cancer, even through the broken leg, all these different things, he's still adapted beautifully. Oh my goodness. And now you got somebody like Caleb Plant who also, for beautiful against Canelo, has nothing to be. You know what I thought about when he lost? Fernando Vargas. Remember when Fernando lost to Trinidad?
Yeah.
He was basically, he lost, but he didn't lose.
Yeah.
Because of how beautiful he fought. So
fought a great fight.
Yes. It's just, man, so this could be, for guys like me and you, oh man, these men are here. Oh, okay. So, it's gonna happen. It could be that. It could be that. Like, oh man, somebody better not make a mistake. Because them two fighting each other could almost be like looking in the mirror almost.
No bull.
With certain movements both of them make.
Right.
It could definitely be that.
That's very accurate. Very accurate. We got a comment, man, and before
Shoot.
you even look at it. Franco H in the comment, he said Loma will beat Haney pretty easy.
I'm not saying you see I'm dead serious as I'm looking at the cameras. I'm not discrediting that, none of that. That's a good comment. I just worry about the jab. Devin's jab, bro. That's
Can't
the
say it
only
enough.
thing. But I could see him saying that because Devin's not as big as Teofimo. So if you take the size away a little bit, because you remember what I told you, Loma said.
You
I
think
think
Devin taller than Tio?
No, I mean bigger.
Oh, like mass.
Wide, yeah.
I got you. Yeah.
Because remember, he couldn't remember what we were all talking about when Loma, after the fight was over, Loma got out the ring.
Yeah.
He was talking in Russian to the handler who always got all the Russian fighters.
Yeah.
He was like, it took me a while to get going. He's just too big. He was just too big, too strong. So I had to really wait my time. So that's why I lost so many early rounds. And, so with that, maybe that gets him able to get into a groove better. Then on top of that, you always still got to wonder, that means jab, though, bro.
Calculated, pinpoint.
That jab,
sharpshooter.
man. And just
Sniper.
that jab alone maybe can be just enough to where you can make Loma have to hop back out. But at the same time, the way that he pumps it, Loma could time it, get comfortable, and next thing you know, he starts doing his two-step. In and
really
out,
be in that joint
side
dancing.
to side, pivoting over, on then hit, like start doing his two-step.
Loma really be dancing, yo.
Yeah, like man, what he did to Pedraza?
Yeah, that joint was
Man,
vicious.
that one
Nakatani
highlight,
too.
Man, that one highlight with Pedraza, boom, 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 turn, dip, back up, hop, boom, back over. I was like, and Pedraza was on one that night. Pedraza, Luke Campbell too.
Yeah.
Them dudes were huge. And you got to think, he did that with Luke Campbell. Of course, these two are elite. Jorge Linares, Luke Campbell, Sniper Pedraza, top guys, but were much bigger than him. And he admitted he had trouble with those guys because of their size, but those guys he did okay with.
Right.
But at the same time, those three guys, their feet are not as fast as Devin.
Right. That's true.
You know, but at the same time, to that comment, you might say, well, they not as big as Devin's not as big as those guys, so he'll have an easier time. He might start getting to him like he got to Richard Comey. Even though we know Richard Comey don't box as good as Devin, but he's much stronger, naturally stronger, and hits harder than Devin. He still got it under control. Matter of fact, hold that though, because he got me rolling. Now I'm about to see the size difference between Devin and Richard Comey.
They look around the same size. Yeah.
All right, Richard Comey.
They look around the same size.
You shoot though. What you think?
Man, Haney versus Loma, I would love to see that fight. It's a trio of fights I'd like to see within that matchup.
Pin. All right, so Richard Comey. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Haney versus Loma is one. Loma versus Tank is one. Tank versus Devin. It's a mixture. It's like you could do 5 + 5 and get 10. You know what I'm saying? You can do 1 + 9 and get 10. To get to the same answer, there's a lot of fights we could throw in this mix to get what I want to see. But we talking about Loma versus Haney. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be easy at all to beat Devin Haney. I don't think anybody beats Devin Haney easily because of what he said. The jab is vicious. He's technically sound. Very, very high boxing IQ. But what I think Loma brings to the table that could possibly make it an easy fight if it were to be easy is his ability to create angles. Throws punches more than Devin. His punch output's a little bit more than Devin. He's slippery as well. May not be as long with the jab as Devin, but timing, I may give Loma the edge in timing. And maybe even power, maybe?
Power to who?
Loma. We've seen Loma put Bamas down.
Yeah.
So I may even give Loma the power edge too, just because of what I've seen from Loma. So easy fight, no, but tough fight, yes. A great fight that we would all love to see, yes. El Paso Route 1 in the chat. I don't know about easy, but definitely a nice fight we all want to see. I got Haney over Loma. I can definitely see that. He also said 2023 needs to bring us these top fights for real. Loma versus Shakur and Haney versus Davis winners fight each other. Man. And I love how he threw Shakur in there because Shakur is coming up. He just missed weight. He's coming up to 135. So now you throw Shakur in the mix. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. 2023, 24, we need boxing gods. Praying to the gods right now. All the boxing gods. Can we please get these fights? Can we please? We are begging. Next step is to get on our hands and knees and pray. But we are begging and praying for these fights. Now y'all done thrown Shakur in the mix at 35. Come on, man. We got to get these fights, man. We got to.
I just looked up all of these guys' reach. And
Loma's reach is sneaky long, huh?
I'm going to Loma's reach right now. All of these guys. This is crazy.
He write like a pharmacist. Look,
man, leave me alone.
Well, I ain't picking up my prescription. Go ahead.
Piss off. Lord. So Shakur's reach is 68. Pedraza's reach is 70.5.
Okay.
Devin and Richard Comey's reach is 71 apiece.
Okay.
I thought Devin's was going to be a little bit longer.
So Devin got.
I thought 71. Richard Comey's is 71.
Devin's 71. Okay.
I thought Devin may have had 72, 73.
I
That's
think because
what
how
I
Devin
thought.
throws his jab.
Yes.
How he throws it
And
makes
he
it
throws
longer.
it different ways.
Right.
He'll pump it from his face, and next thing you know, he'll flick it up, lean his head offline.
Right.
So, and that can give him enough. And the next thing you know,
Right.
he throwing his shoulder in your chest, locks your arm, he relaxes, resets everything, he starts it all over again. So, you know, that could be a thing, but man, that's
What's Loma's reach? I feel like it's
Loma
sneaky. I don't think it's that far off.
68.
Okay, so 68,
68.
70, 71.
So basically,
Yeah, he's not
Loma's
that far off.
whole thing is put your hand up, your guard up.
Oh.
His whole thing, if you watch Loma, he'll sit if I hop here, he'll give you a hop, but won't come here.
Right.
He'll go here.
Right.
And he'll hop, but then hold your hand up, he'll do this.
Yeah, he always touching. He
Touching
always
your glove.
Right.
The main product of that is I can get just so I know where I'm at with it. Remember I was saying how Floyd, the difference on how he fights right-handers and how he fights southpaws. Right-handed, he'll let you throw your jab and let you touch, and he'll let it catch on the shoulder, whatever. As soon as he fights the southpaw, he'll go here, but immediately he's doing this. He'll let pick and then forearm. Just to mitigate that distance, that because your lead foot so much closer to him now. So, and Loma does the same thing because his whole thing is touch, 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 pop. Once he gets where everything is, okay, no, okay, I don't have a gap there. I don't have a gap.
Right.
Got a little gap here. Then I go, boom.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest telltale.
They don't call him the Matrix for no reason. That boy be in there doing whole equations in his head.
And I would love to see how fast Devin's feet is.
Gonna have to be fast.
And how he bicycles. He has a very fast bicycle. When he gets to moving laterally, his feet are very fast.
My bad, bro.
His feet are very fast. But I would love to see how Loma, because you know, once you start doing that, Loma does this. He'll skip to you, then he'll go bop, step, slide, step, bop, 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 bop. And now he's doing it, giving you all of this, and then he starts talking trash to you. To see, now it's like he already knows what I want to do, but he could be selling. He like, all right, I'm selling it.
He be bluffing.
He could sell it. Oh yeah, make a mistake. Yeah, make a mistake. Because now you're thinking, oh man, I think he may know something. Next thing you know, you shoot and you make the mistake. You give him what he wants. Now he's and shoot. He ain't going over here. Then he's doing the Olay on your ass. He Olaying you. Then he doing the cha-cha, spinning you around and stuff.
Right.
And he's getting comfortable. And once Loma gets comfortable, he's one of
the
the few pros that I've seen where any fighter that gets comfortable is a dangerous fighter. Any fighter that gets comfortable. But it's certain guys, man, that's on my list of all the years I've watched boxing that I know personally. And I've watched on TV that, man, when they get comfortable, you are in trouble. Guys like Emmanuel Augustus, Floyd, who else? Man, that list is on. Pernell Whitaker.
Right,
I mean, so many guys that just when they get comfortable, but it's certain guys that's on a higher. Yeah, Spence. Certain, like for instance, perfect. You said it. Guys like Sean Porter, he gets comfortable, whatever.
Yeah, definitely
starts
Sean.
roughing you up, things like that. You know,
Chocolatito.
But it's a different level of when guys get comfortable, when they start dancing on you, start doing different steps on you. Guys, and that level goes to Floyd, the Emmanuel Augustuses, the Lomachenkos. When they start dancing on Teofimo, when they start dancing on you, they on a whole nother level of comfort. Because you got some guys that get comfortable, but they still stay.
Shakur is one of those guys.
You know, want to stay on this, whatever. But now they can start. Boots is another where on a higher level, when they get comfortable and they could literally dance on you while cerebrally breaking you down, surgically hitting you in certain spots. That can be so demoralizing.
Right. Because imagine a guy in front of you having fun. He's having fun like he at a damn amusement park, and you fighting for your life.
You fighting for your life,
and you probably kind of scared because it's like, yo,
what is he gonna take me out?
And what's happening next? Like I couldn't imagine, bro. That's vicious to think about.
Hey.
Loma, to be honest, he's one of my favorite fighters, active fighters right now. I've been talking it, backing up Loma for a few years now, regardless of everything. So Yeah, Loma versus anybody at 135, even at 130. Loma versus anybody is a great fight right now. Any of those top champions.
Well, yeah, he said 35 now, right?
Yeah, he at 35 right now. I'm
Okay.
just saying anybody
Okay.
between 30 and 35.
Oh, yeah,
I don't want to see Loma go to 40.
Go to 40 anymore. Because he said them guys are just too
It's
big.
too much. I don't want to see him go to 40.
Them guys are just too big,
Yeah.
man. And you got to think. You got Devin. You got Tia. Even though, the Tia Fimo thing is over. But, you got guys talking about being at 40. The Ryans, the Tia Fimos to go. Those guys that just got to 40 that can flirt with that.
Right.
But all of these names... And then you think about the next 5 years and how much money can be made between all of them.
So much.
Fighting each other.
Right.
On the highest level is... I'm going to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
What do you think about boxing right now compared to the 80s and how so many fights got made back then? Even with negotiation, even though we know Ray was the money guy. But even to the 90s where Oscar was the money guy and things like that, but just the fact of, and I mention those two names because they're closer to the weight classes that we're talking about. But back then, there were certain hiccups in negotiations, but the negotiations didn't go 5 plus 6, 7 plus years. Maybe a year or two, but it percolated at that height where it was like, now's the time. Let's do this. You cool with this? You cool with that? Cool. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And it happened.
Right.
And now it's so many things, and that's why I will always commend Devin more than I commend any of these fighters in that, in around that weight class right now.
Right.
Because this boy is being a mercenary in a sense. All right, I give this organization a fight. I'm gonna give y'all 2 fights, and I'm gonna give y'all 1, and I give y'all 3, and I come back and give you 2, just to get the job done.
Right.
Oh, you want to take all of this and that and third? He thinking, all right, cool. He thinking like the old fighters. If I do what I'm supposed to do, the money's going to come anyway.
Right.
So you know what? George Kambosos, you need this money more than me anyway. Like, for instance, to Devin, I'm going to show y'all. Some of y'all may not know this. Do y'all remember the first fight? You remember the first fight when they was doing the thing? He was getting sick and tired of Kambosos talking about
Art of War.
Not just the Art of War thing. He was like,
The Art of War book.
But not just that. But remember, it was a part where he was talking about, it was times where I fought at places where I had training camps.
He was in
where
third person a lot.
I was worried about my wife and my kids.
Come on, bro. Enough with the sob stories.
Enough with all that, bro. We all, and what did he say? He said, we all, every fighter I've seen that or dealt with that in some way, form, fact. And people were saying in the comments, man, what would he know? Because they see the Bentley. They see he was 18 with Floyd and all that, 17, 16 with Floyd and all this money. But the thing that people don't realize is, he was in Floyd's gym, but turned pro and was fighting in Mexico.
Yeah.
He was going across the border to get the job done, and he's fighting and getting called certain things that if I was to translate it for y'all, YouTube may take it down. If I say it in Spanish, they translate and I tell y'all what was said. Him and his father dealt with that coming out of the entranceway, fighting at bars, like an actual bar. Fighting in actual bull rings. Like, this is, just to get to that point, just because we need to get to this. We need to get to this level. Let's get through this so we can get here. And fighting as many times as possible just to get it further up so he could get to showbox the new generation.
Right. And Devin definitely got it out the mud, man.
So and people forget that part, and I think he never forgot that. Because if you really think about it, for him to say to Kambosos what he said, and then go and negotiate that contract, and for us to find, when we all found out the details before y'all did about that damn contract and how bad it was, we was like, dawg, he really must be on a mission, because that's a horrible contract to take.
Absolutely terrible.
And a horrible rematch clause to take.
They did him dirty.
And definitely. He took it just, get the job done. It's all going to pay off in the long run. And he did that. And it's like, all right, I'm going to do this so I can. So it's making me wonder, even with the Tank situation. Me and Tank want to fight. He don't care. And Devin has admitted he sparred Tank, and Tank, after the sponsor, he was like, man, some stuff I got to work on. Because he was like, Devin was like, man, Tank was giving him some work, and Tank wasn't even in shape for real.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, man, yeah, I got to work on some stuff. Then they sparred again, and he said he did a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
They went, the second time they sparred, I think he said he went to Baltimore and did it, which is, really good, but that also makes you wonder, you got guys like Tank who, I don't care, he want to fight anybody. But it's the handlers. Sometimes it's the fighters, but sometimes it's the handlers.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. Back to your question is like, why the fights in the 80s get made more than they do so now? If I'm not mistaken, Devin's not signed to nobody. Devin's promotes.
Free agent.
He's afraid promotes himself. That's why Devin's able to go on the zone and make this fight happen with this guy. He's able to go on top rank and fight here. You might see him. I haven't seen him on Showtime much lately, but Devin, he's in charge of his own career. Devin could sign that bullshit contract. It's whatever. I ain't, all the revenue's coming back to me and my team, Devin Haney Promotions. I feel like nowadays the promoters' hands are too much involved in the pot, and then you got the different managers and everything, the coaches, the fighters. We know the fighters they want to fight. I'm pretty sure
some of the fighters.
Yeah, and I know where he's going. I know where he's going with that. I know exactly where he's going with that. Most of the fighters, they do want these fights. I feel like if there was a way to, how do I say this? For example, the UFC, Dana White. If we had like one hub promoter in boxing, or maybe even two, I think it would be a lot easier to make these damn fights happen. Where it's not so much nitpick this side of the street here. Well, this side of the street wants this. Well, we're gonna break it down to the smallest 1,000th of a damn percent of this pay to this because of this. It's a whole lot of nitpick pettiness going on, especially with the titles and my fighter got this title, your fighter got this title, and it's so much more negotiation going on rather than the fight, what's going on in the ring. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like with everything that's added to it on the paperwork side of boxing now, and then with the social media additions, the bigger paydays, everything's more expensive. Sponsorships. Now everything's more than what it was in the 80s. So it's a lot more to negotiate. I think that's a huge part of the problem why we can't get these fights done.
But you got to remember, bro, the main brass tacks of it. Mm-hmm. Split, gate,
right,
pay-per-view numbers,
the
pay-per-view split,
right,
and merchandising YouTube rights.
Right.
That's the core of the cake.
Mm-hmm. We've seen fights not happen off of who was walking out first, who gets introduced
first.
Bro,
don't get me started with that.
You know what I'm saying? Like the pettiness of it, the pettiness of the sport. It's like, that's why a lot of these fights, y'all don't know, a lot of these fights ain't getting made for simple shit like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I done seen, and that's where you wonder, is it the handlers or is it the fighter? Right. Sometimes it's either or. Sometimes it's both. Sometimes it's that promoter want to protect his
cash cow.
Because quiet as his cap, as you always love me to say.
That boy love the quiet as his cap.
Yeah, man. I grew up around too many gangsters not to say it's we remember what Tank went through with Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
For people who don't know, and it's public knowledge now, I could say it. But Floyd didn't want Tank taking that fight with Pedraza. He did not want that fight to happen. Tank kept pulling for it. And it was the perfect time because Pedraza couldn't barely make the weight anymore. He was getting too big and he was starting to get weaker. And the way Tank fights, he's gonna hit hard enough to where he's gonna make him feel that weight drain. And he's not gonna have somebody like Tank under control in that time to where he can coast it or whatever. Tank's not gonna let him get him under control to where he can, But basically, Floyd looked at Tank in his face and said, no. And the LB be the same way. You ain't fighting that fight. You ain't ready for that. You be doing the right things, but the usual stuff. Then he bugged Tank enough. Tank bugged Leonard and Floyd enough to where he told Tank, all right, you want to fight that bad? I'm going to make the fight. But it's all on you. Whatever happens.
Right.
Now, if your promoter tell you that, What does that mean?
You got no confidence in you. You don't
Thank
think
you.
you win the fight. You don't think you win the fight.
Thank you. So y'all really think it? Trust me, it's not Tank with the Loma fight. It ain't Tank with none of these dudes. We are not saying this because we know Tank. We are telling y'all the God's honest truth of what I know is it's not him. It's who does Floyd have on his roster at this point compared to when Tank first signed and he had Josue, he had so many guys. He was trying to get Devin, he was trying to get Sickle, he was basically trying to rack it up, stack everybody.
Right.
But basically he has one other guy, besides Rolly? I think
Jalil, Rolly.
Jalil's still a prospect. He's not
Right.
going to bring in that revenue.
He got a few guys. That's the thing. We can't name off his stable like that off top of our head. We don't know really. No disrespect to the guys that are signed to the
them
team,
dudes can fight.
money team at all, but they're not being pushed out front like the guys that signed to Al Heyman or signed with Bob Arum. Even Eddie Hearn. Like those guys, we always see those guys out pushed out. We don't really see Mayweather's guys pushed out like that.
And on top of that, Jay Leon had retired. Andrew Tabiti had moved on and went to Matchroom, right? I think it's Matchrooms. Andrew Tabiti had became a top guy, but he was in cruiserweight, and the only time really you make big cruiserweight money is over in England. And he went and moved on. So many of those guys just aren't on there no more. And one of the guys who else is still a contender right now, but not on the Tank level is Newman III, like who lost to Jink Plunk from here. And it's like, bruh, you can't sit there and think at all that you're gonna have these guys, all these guys leave my roster. And now all I got is Tank in a sense. And Rolly basically, we knew who Rolly was, but not so many people. And some casuals knew who Rolly was, but it wasn't on, Tank's level. And when he fought Tank, it went up to that level because it was, it was Tank. But basically, that's all he has right now.
Yeah.
So you're worried to death that if this goes downhill, I'm stuck in a sense. So me, you, Coach Kyle, Coach Kenny, the rest of Upton, and everybody else who from Region 3 who grew up in the AM, just one who knows, Tank is good enough to fight with any of these guys. Right. And Shakur, all these guys done mentioned it, like, nah, Tank is, they threw out that thing with Shakur saying that, who do you stop and who do you go to championship rounds with? And he was like, they mentioned Ryan, he said, stop. He mentioned Devin, he said championship round. They mentioned Tank, he said championship rounds. Like, all these guys know the risk that they're taking fighting Tank. Like, it ain't really, just
Tank special.
He's Tommy Hearns. Like, basically, it's the Tommy Hearns effect with Ray. Yeah. Like, they know that I'm fighting another top guy. And Tank as well knows, like, them guys talk about, like, I'm going to stop all of them, whatever, and I'm going to box with all of them. So, a lot of these guys are going to be thinking, like, nah, man, I got to save it. And when Tank beat Pedraza, I don't care what Tank say right now. That's still, you ain't gonna forget that. You ain't gonna forget that. Like, though you still was, not wanting me to fight this guy and stuff like that. You still was that. And now you happy as heck that I beat him. And now I'm on this level and you get to take 20 or whatever % you're taking. So that, like, let's call it what it is. So sometimes it's not always that. And then it goes to certain, like, look at this whole thing with Bud and Earl. All Bud gave everything on the table. All I want is, if I take this flat fee or if I take whatever gross, I just want to see the books so I know that this is exactly what I'm supposed to be getting. And all of a sudden, that stops everything.
I'm telling y'all, pettiness, man. It's like getting a nail in your tire going down the highway and you
Slim.
Glug. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, that's
stupid.
That's how I feel with the Spence Bud joint. I ain't want to say their names today. Didn't even want to say their names because it's just so frustrating to talk about those two, man.
Look at these girls.
I'm telling you.
I said it. I'm bringing
the
girls up.
If y'all don't step your game up, if men's boxing, if y'all don't step your game up and start making these fights, women's boxing is going to start overshadowing because we are getting these mega fights in women's boxing. And we've been getting them these past few years. And honestly, I'm not mad at it because it's been some great fights. I'm going to keep referencing when Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor.
Bruh,
That
sold
fight.
out MSG.
I'm telling you, men's boxing, take notes. Promoters, take notes. So what they doing on that side. Take notes because they making these fights happen. And this weekend, we're getting another one. And I'm telling y'all, they might start overshadowing. There might be some more women headlining cards. And the rest of these guys will be falling as co-main events. You know what I'm saying? Preliminary fights. Go ahead. I wouldn't be mad at it. I would not be mad at it.
You want me to put your boy on the spot real quick?
Put me on the spot. Go ahead, would you? I ain't never on the spot. I'm always ready.
I personally, and I want to get your opinion, I personally got that card outdoing all the other cards this week.
Oh, hell, easily.
I got Clarissa in them cards
easily
outdoing the pay-per-view and Devin.
100%. 100%.
What?
Man,
I said
man, what? The women about to do it crazy this weekend. All women's card. And it's nothing. It's hitters on that card, too.
Big hitters.
Man, make sure y'all tune in.
Olympians.
Yes. And don't forget it's going to be earlier in the day because it's over the pond. So don't think it's coming on at night this weekend. It's coming on early in the day. I got a damn game. My game is at 2 o'clock.
Wait, what time is it coming on? They probably not going to be in the ring till like 4 or 5 o'clock,
man,
right?
let me look that up, man. I just thought about that, man. My game's at 2 o'clock.
I don't think they're going to even be in the ring. I think you probably got time.
I think I got time to make the fight?
Yeah, I think you got time.
I hope so, man, because I'm definitely not trying to miss none of those fights. And it's some young girls coming up, too, from over in the UK. What's her name? Sky? Was it Sky? What's her name?
She fighting on that card?
Yeah, I think so. There's a young girl. She's vicious. Kind of reminds me of Sinicia a little bit. Can box her ass off. She on the card. Let me see. What time is the fight? Chills. Time. Let me see.
I'm about to find out now. Because the thing that gets me is that
the main card started at 2 p.m. Eastern.
But you know what? It could honestly be because these girls know what it's like and have heard the stories and appreciate those stories of all of these women. These, like, Ann Wolf was top of her game, and her at the top of her game was 10 grand.
Right.
You know,
not even
30
7
grand,
figures.
not even close, you know. So, and I think that these girls, they hate each other, but there's a certain respect there of at least we gonna make some money together, and you were willing to step out there with me and make this money.
Right.
And every time they do, what do you hear? Each one of these girls, no matter how much they hate each other, what do you always hear? They say, this is for the next women coming up.
Exactly. They are not pioneering, but they are the ones that are breaking that plateau right now. They've shattered the glass ceiling, and they are the ones taking it to the next level. So, man, big ups to all the women putting it on for women's sports, period. Bigger than boxing. Women's sports, period. They're putting women on a major platform where the WNBA might be able to grab some off of this momentum. You know what I'm saying? Women's golf, women's anything can start grabbing off this momentum and start carrying it on because it's a lot of great women athletes, man. I like watching women's basketball. I feel like they be hooping with more passion than dudes.
And more fundamentally sound.
Right. Because your mother was a standout athlete.
Yeah.
Basketball. So was mine.
Shout out number 30.
My mom, number 24.
Oh, for real?
Tremendous basketball player. Used to put the lights out in the gym. Shoot the lights out in the gym. So I got nothing but respect for women's sports. And I just love to see these women with these 50-50 matchups, man.
Yes.
Tough fights.
And a lot of times 50-50 splits.
Yes.
50-50 splits on the contract.
They're not arguing over a ring walk. They're not arguing over petty stuff where I got to be announced first or the other dumb shit where I want the 8 ounce or the 10 ounces. It's whatever. Let's fight.
Savannah could have easily been like, well, you're fighting in my hometown. You fighting in my home country. I should come out last. And, you know, I should have this and that and whatever. And totally messed a lot of stuff up. And I ain't hear no rumblings of that. You know, I ain't hear no rumblings of that with Clarissa.
Nope.
I didn't hear no rumblings of that with Alicia. Or Michaela with their contract. I didn't hear any rumblings of that. I don't even know their purses yet, but from what I've been told, I heard that there's a hefty. It's still going to be pretty lucrative for both. It's not a big like lopsided contract for one or the other type of thing. You know, so that's a huge deal. And you got these girls fighting willingly and stacking the card. And now what I honestly truly believe is what we just saw with Katie and Amanda at MSG. Now it's about to happen again
Right.
in the at the O2 in England.
It's at the O2?
Yeah, it's at the O2. It's going to be stacked to the brim. I
right.
really believe that.
UK fans go crazy for their sports. Soccer and boxing, they go crazy.
They go crazy for, and you got to have their casuals are different than our casuals. Like their casuals, you got to actually be in line at a store, and let's say I'm on the phone watching somebody and the person over your shoulder, you got to have an honest conversation with them
about
and
boxing.
it ain't like they know the fundamentals, they know it, because that was one of the things that shocked Floyd when Floyd went over there, and he was like, these people actually know. They know what they talking about. Like these certain people out here, like they have a good conversation about boxing, you know, and like it's basketball or something like that almost, you know. So that's a big deal. But I'm telling y'all, man, it's gonna get to a point. I said this last episode, the episode before last. People getting tired of that shit, man.
Tired of waiting, man.
People getting tired of that. And then when y'all get old, y'all want to try to, oh, well, I still gonna make enough money and then fight each other. People getting tired of that mess. Now you got these women out here fighting tactically and ferociously.
Indeed.
And selling it out, leaving everything they got out there and making the crowd stand on their feet. And making the money and bringing in the views. Bringing in the views. And it's about to happen again.
No bullshit.
Tomorrow. It's about to happen again tomorrow.
2 p.m. The fight starts at 2 p.m. They said the main ring walk will probably be around 5.
Told you. I told you. It was going to probably be fine.
Yeah, but I definitely don't want to miss Alicia or Clarissa. I don't want to miss either one of those fights. I should be good. I should be good.
Bruh. And you know, so it's like, to me, with these, with it's almost like I want to see these contract negotiations, like follow the guy around for 24 hours and see who really full of crap and
I want to
who
read
ain't.
it myself. Yeah, I want to read the contract myself.
Yeah, it's like, cause man, and then the messed up part is, I know how much Tony Harrison made when he fought Jared. When him and Jared fought each other for the title, you know, I know what Jared had to take to get to that point and say, okay, I'm cool with that. And barely there was any, I'm not sure about that, or no blatant no's. Like I was, you know, I had ringside seats to that mess. Like everything, you know, as he went up the ladder and him taking the B side and moving forward. So, and that doesn't make it no easier for me to be like, oh, if he did it and then got to that level and then did this and then negotiated this and that or whatever, why is it that these fools can't do this, that, and the third? And you're hearing a lot of guys say this. I want to see your opinion on this. These guys out here are saying, why are these fighters now fight? Even though 30 years old now is different than 30 years old back then because of advancements. But all of these fights back then, Benitez fighting Ray, he was what, 20 years old? About to be 21? Ray was 23 or 24, something like that. All these big fights was happening. Even when Tommy fought Ray the second time, I think they were 28, 29. And Ray was like 31 or something like that. I got to double check and go look. But these fights were happening through age 20 to 29, maybe 30, 31. These fights are happening. And time is ticking. Time is ticking. And I kept telling you, man, I got a feeling something's going to happen. And no matter what happens when they do fight, it's going to be with certain big fights. There's going to be, well, what would have happened if? Because that peak of their prime is not, it's kind of like being questioned now almost. Yeah. You know, so it's not no shadow of a doubt. Like, yeah, man, them two, like when Tommy fought Ray, you knew the first time, like, oh, hey, man, they left it all out there. You know, it was them two at the peak. There was nothing wrong. And even, you know, now, you know, it's like, okay, what's gonna happen? What is your take on that? Because what if someone, they fight each other and all of a sudden some, you know, we look at it and as we're watching, like, oh, don't look, this is what I thought it was gonna be, type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, if this fight goes on, we go another 3-4 years and they 35, 36, 37 and they fight. of course they're gonna have lost a couple steps, and of course the fans, the purists, gonna be looking back like, yo, that ain't the same Bud. Bud when he was here, when Bud was at 147 at this point, after he beat this guy, it would have been a different fight. That's a conversation we're gonna be having if this fight go on more than another year or two. Is it would have been a different fight if, and I hate ifs, I hate what ifs, buts, coulds, woulds. I hate that. So if we need to get this fight end of this year, early next year, I'm really about to lose interest in it. I'm gonna still watch it no matter what, but my interest is gonna be like, I mean, we really needed to see this 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely got a point.
So now let me ask you this. Let's go back to the real stars of this episode. Clarissa and Savannah and Alicia and Michaela. With everything happening with the queen passing, they interviewed Savannah and she said she was peaking at everything was on point that camp. And I remember when the fight got canceled, when we were on the show, we didn't know it was going to be canceled yet, but it was about to be.
Yeah.
But you were asking me, what about them rescheduling it? And you was like, because it looks like it's going to be a month from now they're going to do this.
It's been 5 weeks, I think, right?
Yeah, and I said, we worry because your fighter is peaking. And they interviewed Savannah, and Savannah said, everything in camp was on point. I was peaking at the right time. I was on point. Everything was ready. And then to find out, when they got cut off, it was like, okay, so now you're kind of teetering, and it's so easy to be at you're peaking at the right time in camp, and now get rescheduled for a month later. You really got to kind of pull them back, let them eat a little bit, but no, keep them about 5 pounds off the limit, so they not staying drained for the next 5 weeks, about 5 to 8. Because when they skip rope, they're going to get it right back. Or go and keep running, it's going to come right back off. And it's like, you're teetering that line, and you're playing with fire to where you got a peaking fighter, and you don't want them to easily step over the line of being overworked, and then they get in the ring and then they're stale.
Yeah.
Do we ever question, even though we ain't seen it yet, we got to see the results and see how it all unfolds, but do we see this and see Savannah ain't looking the same, or Alicia, one of them is not looking the same
effect, right? Because they all had to take the same 5 week, like almost recant. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm gonna think back to Kambosos when him and Teofimo got canceled. I thought the same thing. How is Kambosos gonna react to? How's he gonna react to that delay? Well, because the fight was canceled like that out of nowhere. So it's like, how was he gonna react to and get back to his mental and back to camp and revamp everything? And he did pretty well. He fought a seamless fight. It seemed to be.
Yeah.
Hopefully they could do the same thing, but if it doesn't, it could be like when you ride a dirt bike, you racing somebody on a dirt bike, and you shifting gears, you gear shifting, but then when you go to shift that last gear, slip a little bit, and you lose that half a step. Now you took off. Now you gotta reshift through your gears to get to where you were. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope they don't slip. I hope that gear don't slip because she peaked and she missed her next gear. Now she got to try to get back. I love this guy. Yo. I hope that don't happen. It's definitely a possibility, but I'm leaning towards the Kambosos effect with this. I'm praying for it because I don't want to have any excuses or doubt, because the women, they not leaving no doubt. I don't want to have anybody having any doubts or questions about their performances that night, tomorrow night.
If Savannah, I'm not saying it's gonna happen, yo. Y'all already heard my choice, but can you imagine if Savannah put that licking on Clarissa in her own way, but it's similar to how Kambosos put that work on Teofimo and how his face look at the end, and I could see Clarissa saying, "I won that fight though." Y'all
and not her voice though. Not her voice though.
Y'all know I won that. Y'all know I won that. Y'all ain't said that. Y'all don't know what y'all was looking at. I won that fight.
That's the thing. She over there, so
she
over there, so that could quite possibly end up being some bullshit like that. So,
bruh, if I'm a part of her camp, I'm watching that. I'm testing every food, every drink that come up, man. What?
Everything.
I'm not playing none of them games
at all.
I'm watching her. Man, we need to watch this. We need to watch that. Man, I'm watching everything because I remember when I was watching, I remember watching Shane versus Oscar, the first fight, live when it was happening. When I was a kid, I was like, Daddy, not taking the mouthpiece out in between rounds. And the guys that was with us, and my dad told me, he was like, all of them was saying this, because some big fights like that, let's say you have your normal camp, but you might have an extra guy be in the corner as a second assist. I done seen guys go to the next dressing room and say, hey, we just need an extra guy come over. You just be in the corner and help. And, or just different things that happen, and they put stuff on that mouthpiece, and then so you worry, and you keep that mouthpiece in his mouth. You make sure it's very comfortable mouthpiece, and you keep it in his mouth. You don't take it out type of thing, because you're so worried anything can happen. Even when remember when at the press conference after Wilder Fury 2, when he dudes like Andy tried to give him a water, and he said, where does water come from? And he pointed to the guy, and you saw Tyson go, and gave it back to him. He said, nah, though, you ain't catching me slipping.
Nah, for real.
Just in case.
That's some dirty shit, man.
What?
It's a dirty game.
What? Man,
it's a definitely dirty
man,
game.
I done seen some wild stuff. I done heard some crazy stories. I've heard stories of fights of that magnitude where skin in the glove, situations. I've heard situations of some with the water. I've heard situations of they messed with the guy's hotel food. He used to drink orange juice. And then once, by the time he got into the ring, his stomach was killing him. His stomach was cramping up. His kidneys was hurting him. And found out later that it was somebody messing with his stuff and stuff like that. I've heard stories of guys taking the guy's water out of his dressing room.
Yeah.
Guys bring stacks and stacks of cases over. And he gets in, and then is in the dressing room. He come back to the dressing room, and it ain't.
It ain't right.
Yeah, we doing good, man. All right, nephew, we good. And and you got guys that I've heard stories of guys. What's one? Another one. This is one of the wildest ones I've heard. One of the top five. I'm not gonna say his name from this area. He got knocked completely out. They turned the 8-ounce glove into a 6-ounce glove. Hit him and knocked him slam out. Put him clean out. Yeah, I've heard that, and you gotta think this is my dad's era, so it's all horsehairs. Foams weren't even thought of yet, yet. Till another 4 or 5 years later. So yeah, I've heard I've heard of guys stacking on and the way that they did it, and how they flipped it back and stuff like that, and just crazy stuff. I remember one fighter I knew, he always was I forgot what drink it was he always drank. It was some type of, I'm not sure it was cranberry or whatever. So he requested it at the press conference or whatever, because they always have water sitting in, and yeah. And they tried to do a toast or something like that, and his coach was like, take this. You go, oh, thanks, man. And his coach was like, hey, oh, no. No, down. And he was trying to cheers it, and then he had to teach him, nah, you don't ever drink anything from the post. He said it's just a boxer, because he's thinking of the purest part of the sport. He thinking nah, it's just, no, he's a humble warrior. He said, nah, man, yes, but a lot of cruddy things that can happen. We just saw the great Mikey Fox come on here and talk about what he dealt with just in one night. One night.
Yeah, we got to talk about that too. Before we get out of here, we got to talk about Mike Fox. Did you watch the fight yet?
No, I haven't had the chance to watch. I watched the highlights.
Yeah, I watched the fight, and I want to give a shout out to Mike for showing heart of a champion, to come back from those 2 knockdowns and finish the fight, and not only finish the fight but compete in the fight. Just hats off to you, brother. Hats off to you. That was a tough opponent, a sturdy opponent, and you went in there and did your damn thing. You ain't got nothing to hang your head about. That was a great performance by you. Other than taking the win and coming home with the W, you definitely showed that you were a true champion, and you got heart and you fight. You definitely fight. So shout out to Mike Fox for that performance, and we can't wait to see you back in the ring again, brother.
Yes, indeed, man. That was always to my hat to Mike, man. Big fest.
Indeed.
always just gonna be big fest, man. You know, but yeah, I done seen some crazy things. Like, and you learn stuff, you watch for certain things, you know. Even stuff in the amateurs, you watch out for. You see little tricks and little things, you know, and it's like, oh nah, you know, watch out for this and watch out for that. Like, are you serious? Even at the amateurs, like, yeah, man, you know, watch out for this and watch out for that. You know, so it's so many things that done happened over the years in boxing that's why so many the commissioner follows you from the time you get in there, follows you when you go to the bathroom, everything.
So much nonsense, man.
You know, so that's just how it be. You know, it's just that type of, you know, cruddy game. It's just that's just how it be. You know, so
man. For sure, man. I think we had a great episode today.
Got to talk about the local card tomorrow.
I was about to get to it, yeah. So I wanted to shout out all the guys about to go to war tomorrow here at the Maryland Live in Hanover. All the guys. We got our boy Sugar Wayne on the card. He fighting. Jakeem Two Sharp Hutchinson is on the card fighting. Bazooka Joe Veazey fighting on the card. Monzo the Punisher on there. Please forgive me if I'm forgetting anybody else. I think AJ Williams is fighting on the card. What's the main event again?
Darren Sweet-Tay.
Sweet-Tay, yes.
Sweet-Tay's on the card against Elijah Pierce.
Right, Elijah Pierce. If you guys are in the area, in the DMV, you ain't got nothing going on tomorrow night. If you're not going to watch any of the fights we discussed on the show tonight, take your lady to the fight tomorrow. The Maryland Live. You can get your tickets at axs.com, or you can reach out to any of the fighters on the card through Instagram and still get the tickets today. Today's the last day to buy tickets personally from the fighters. But if you can't get them today, you can go to axs.com and go buy your tickets. Go check out a live boxing event. There's nothing more exhilarating. Probably not for him anymore. He's been a part of boxing for his whole life. But I've been to college football games, NFL games, NBA games, baseball games, and it's something about a live boxing event that's so exhilarating, and it's exciting to watch it live. So if you guys have the chance, you're able to do it, go check out the fight this weekend, tomorrow night at the Maryland Live Casino in Hanover, Maryland.
Man,
Indeed.
That's a stacked card.
Stacked
I
up.
was just thinking about the card, like, oh, that's gonna be a good card. You know, it's gonna be interesting to see. You know, I hope everybody really realizes the guys that's on this card. I mean, you know, from Suge to I call him the little bad man because you know, just from Jakir, and watching Monzo.
Monzo is a puncher. A guy you don't want to blink when Monzo's fighting because he's one punch away from putting you through the ropes. I'm telling you.
He come out like this. The thing though, it's the total. You would think when y'all see his outfits and the way he come out, you would think, oh, he gonna be all finesse and all this other stuff. No, he's coming to run you over.
Right.
Like, he's coming to run you over with the Ric Flair glitter and the glasses.
I'm telling you.
He's coming to run you over, though.
He's a soft-spoken guy. He's a quiet guy, soft-spoken. He's not, outside of the ring, he's not an overly, like, theatrical guy. Yeah. He's not throwing himself at you. Real cool guy. Love Monzo to death, man. When he get in that damn ring, though.
You trying to drop bricks. And
I'm telling you.
And the thing was, though, the difference with Maryland Live and Tony Jessica is that he kind of has a slightly old school where the microphone comes all the way down, and after this Discombobulating Jones announces and talks, it raises back up to just high enough, about 10 feet above the ring, to where every punch is heard throughout the whole venue.
Right. You can hear the sweat flying. You hear all of that. All of that's crazy.
And then you hear them talking to each other in clinches and talking to each other after sequences and stuff like that. You hear all of that. So that's gonna be a big thing. You got a guy that can punch like Monzo. You got a guy who was sneaky pop like Sugar Wayne. It's gonna be interesting for y'all, those newcomers that's coming to the cars and hear that. You know, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh man,
y'all do not. If you are able, you do not want to miss it. Go check it out. I'm begging you. Go check it out and then come back and let me know how you liked it.
Yeah, I
promise you will be highly entertained. Not only entertained by the fights, it's a beautiful venue, great food there. You know, drink menus, whatever. And it's almost like boxing is almost like a family. We go there and we meet everybody. We see everybody. Hey, what's up? How y'all been doing? Even if you don't know boxing like that, you'll go there and you'll feel welcome because the energy inside the arena is just high. It's a high energy. It's a welcoming energy, and it's boxing. Who don't love boxing? That's why we here. That's why y'all tap into the show. So if you are able to do it, go check it out. I'll say it again. Maryland Live, AXS.com to go buy tickets to the event tomorrow night. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. But I think we had a great show today, man. A lot of boxing going on tomorrow. Whole lot of boxing. Showtime, ESPN, DAZN. There's boxing on every major network. And yeah, we're gonna get ready to wrap it up, man. This was Slipping Kind of Podcast.
We got to. I'm enjoying this, man.
I know. I love this, man. This isn't even work for me. This is like a hobby.
Man, what?
A hobby that I grew to love, and now I'm doing it with my friend, my brother, my cousin. We all family in this joint, and it's never an issue to come up here. I love coming up here. You know, I'll do whatever I can to get up here. You know, stretch as long as I can to get up here and be with you guys, man. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for showing love and support and running these numbers up. The numbers were crazy today. Man, we love you guys. We appreciate everything you guys do for us here at Slipping Kinda. Thank you to Kenichi Bear Studios for setting us up and putting us in a position to win, give you all this great content. And make sure you guys check us out on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Slipping Kinda Podcast. And we will be back with you guys again next week. Thank you.